months in jail, but 2 men who are convicted of murder get probation. This is not what justice is about. Why does this keep happening, Truth Nation? And why does it always seem like black people die and we don't get the justice that we deserve? How should we react to this? If you commit a crime, you must do the time. If you take somebody's life, you have to pay the cost. I don't care that it was an accident, because it does not make sense to me how someone can be murdered and somehow they get no time. Even if you accidentally kill somebody, you are still a murderer, especially when you plead guilty to felony murder. Marijuana will get you more time in jail than killing somebody, especially when it comes to a black man here in America, unfortunately.
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles.
The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts, because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You're listening to the new 1017 The Truth, founded in partnership with Associated Bank. Your money works here. 1017 FM, 1510 AM, WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee. A locally owned Good Karma brand station. The place for the realest conversations.
I appreciate United Garden Homes for stopping through with a check for $2,000.
Yes.
Some people came through anonymously.
Yes.
Dropped off money. The family has received those funds. And whatever you can do, if everybody do a little, nobody has to do a lot.
The movement continues.
What are some of the conditions in the jail that got people upset, like the living conditions on a day-to-day basis?
We'll come out our cell at 11 o'clock in the morning. We'll get food and we'll get medication. So that shortens the time. Out of those 2 hours, we'll probably get an hour out, and then we'll have to lock back down. And by lock back down, I mean we stay in our cell. We get fed in our cell. We don't come out our cell at all. And that's pretty much the biggest problem. And they simply say that they're short-staffed. But that's not enough, because they knew that they were going to be short-staffed. Like, this has been a problem for over 2 years now.
The marathon continues.
There's never been a better time to make change in the city of Milwaukee, starting with the youth. And we talked about the housing. Willie Hines, y'all boy Willie Hines, and they trying to change the leadership over there. We got our hands full, and it's not the time. But we got attorney B. Ivy Lamar on the lines right now, calling from the courthouse. How you doing, attorney B. Ivy Lamar?
Hey, what's going on, Tory? I'm good, man. Happy to be here.
Joining me on the line, Dr. Umar Johnson. How you doing, brother, Dr. Umar Johnson?
Peace and Pan-Africanism, good brother, Black Power, to all my brothers and sisters in Milwaukee, Kenosha, Green Bay, Racine, and across the state of Wisconsin.
Yo, peace, King. I'm going to stand with you and walk with you, brother.
God bless you.
Because I think it's an important thing, what you're doing, and you need to have the support of the community. Regardless if we live in these areas or not, it all affects us in one way or shape or form.
It's time for that action and all the smoke. This is the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association award-winning Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on YouTube.
Man, best show in the world, bro. You got the best show in the world. Hope you know that, man.
God bless you, brother. I appreciate that.
Big up to you both. Thank you so much. Tory, you spoke to my kids. Liz, you did too. But you spoke to my kids, and when I tell you both that they was talking about what we did earlier that morning all day, that's literally what they was doing. They was talking about it all day. My son was just hollering,
Awesome.
where's Tory? Like,
I wanted to make sure that I let you know that to hear a person and have a person like you in this community, the way that you are selfless, the way that you give, even when your cup is not even full, you are filling other people's cup. And that just inspires me to want to make sure that I help you the best way that I can by doing my part.
As always, my good brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Now, live from the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is the king of talk radio, Tory Lowe.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. And I'm here for the action.
And but that action.
And I want all the smoke.
Who wants the smoke today?
Salute to all my brothers and sisters on the front lines. The marathon continues.
The movement continues.
How you doing, DJ Brother Z?
It's Monday.
And how y'all doing out there in Radio Land? Truth Nation. Hey, thank you for joining me this September 15, 2025. We got another powerful show for you today. So I'm gonna need y'all to open up your ears, okay? Salute to everybody out there in Radio Land. Salute to everybody that's joining the show in the chat. Kawanda, SC, Josh, Jeff, A, Sylvia, I see you. They already getting started. They already talking about the post that I made over the weekend about the post about Midtown being the community garden. They already talking about when I stopped by Midtown, me and Elizabeth Brown kind of stopped over by Midtown, and not the part where there's two sides of Midtown. It's like where the Lowe's and the Walmart, then they got the other side, and people are still kind of servicing the other side of Midtown. But it was a part of Midtown that was so, had so many, looked like the concrete grew grass, and it was unkept. And we stopped over there and had a conversation about what was going on in our communities when we have things like this that could be productive, but, you know, it looks like blight. But we'll talk about that later in the show. But right now, let's get the Miracle Minister Kevin on the lines. How you doing, Miracle Minister Kevin?
Oh, hey, Tory, I'm good, man. How you doing, brother? That's funny.
Hey, I seen you had to intervene in on the post we made about what was going on in that area at Midtown. I seen you had to chime in.
Yeah, because people coming on there, they try their best to sound so smart and like they know so much more. I mean, you show what's there.
Right.
And you talking about they cleaned up. Okay, well, it's right here in video. What are you talking about? They doing what? It's right here. How y'all arguing on text when it's showing right here on the video? Come on, man.
It usually be people that's either like looking to get something out of what's going on over there, or they getting paid, or they associated with whatever is going on over there, because the regular people, the regular citizens are sick and tired of what's going on over there in that part. And it's blight. It looks blighted. And like I said, you know, a lot of people, when they start making comments like that, either they know people or they're benefiting from the situation over there. And it's sad because you can
pay somebody to go against their own interests, and it is what it is. I see it all the time.
I don't think it was A. I think it was C and B. See what's right in your face and be quiet. Quit denying it.
Hey, all I can do is show. All I can do is show what's going on. That's it. I can't. If it's something that I'm not privy to, then hey. They say it's something they trying to do something over there, but they've been trying to do for a long time.
So they had it all mixed up. The Walmart that was bought, the address I think is 10330 West Silver Spring. That's the one out there by the boat. Used to be the bowling alley out there.
Okay.
And that's the one that was bought back in 2023. And they want to put apartments out there and Andy's gas station and a few other things out there because it's the Andy gas station people who bought that. So they want to put that out there. Now, they might have been confused at where you were at because you was at Midtown, and that was bought by a storage facility people back in 2022. But the city don't allow for storage to be right there in that area. So they try to just sit on it like it did with Northridge. People bought that, and they weren't allowed to do what they wanted to do because it wasn't zoned for what they wanted. And so they sat on it, and then the city ended up taking it and destroying it, tearing it down. Maybe that's what's going to happen with this one because they want storage. That's the business they're into, storage. So if they're not going to put storage there, they're not in any other business. They're not in the apartment business. They're not in the gas station business. They just want to put storage there, but that's not allowed. It's not zoned for that area, so you can't do it. And they didn't qualify for an exemption to put it there. So now they're just sitting on the property. And sitting on it means that they're not doing anything to upkeep it. So people must be confused when they're talking about that.
Well,
but I don't know if they're just confused or if it's just that people just want to be opposed to anything that's good.
Hey, look, check this out. It say available. It got the number on the top of the building. If somebody got it, why is it saying space available and got the number up there?
Exactly, because they bought it and they need to try to make some money off of it because they can't do what they want to do with it. But they're not seeing all that. They must be confused because they think all Walmarts are the same. No, they closed several Walmarts.
Right.
And those are two different ones closed in 2 different years. So just stop being confused and read the book.
Well, I'm going to tell you like this, Minister Kevin. Sometimes when it don't even pay no need to even try to, go back and forth with folks because many times people's intentions are out of their best interests. And so when I see and I start looking at that, and we're out here dealing with a lot of situations where every day when we're fighting against certain things, there's always people that oppose against certain things that are in their best interest where they learned a long time ago people would do a lot of dancing for the butter biscuits. So they learned that a long time ago, and if it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. So some people, when they have a heavy concern about something that's opposed to their best interest, I ask them, okay, how much you getting paid? Because this conversation sounds like you have a hidden motive to try to stop people from actually understanding what's going on here. And so instead of me going back and forth with them, I try to find out where the money coming from.
Tap me in.
Right, like that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, well, how are you benefiting from this? Because people do benefit from things that may not be in their best interest, but that's just the way life goes.
It is, and sometimes maybe they even go against their own best interest just to put some money in their pocket.
Right.
They may live in that same neighborhood and don't want to see that. But if they're getting paid to see it, they just turn a blind eye and cut the check,
Well,
but I think it's just so much division, though, and people seem to strive off of that division thing. That seems to be real popular nowadays.
Well, they call it trolling.
No matter how good.
But I don't see that. What I see is, okay, however you want to digest it, that's it. I don't care what you think. I don't care. I didn't do it for what you thought. If I had to write things and do things according to if I felt how people was going to think, I wouldn't write nothing because it's 20 different people that think 20 different ways. So what you do is you present it, and that's it. You keep it moving. Yeah.
Yes. You bring attention to it, and that's what's needed. Because maybe somebody said, well, ain't nobody else said nothing about it. I ain't going to say nothing about it. We ain't going to do nothing about it. But once you start saying, put a light on that dark area in the city, then maybe they'll say, okay, well, we better do something on it. Now watch it in the next couple of days, somebody be over there cutting that stuff down.
I'm about to do a follow-up because I thought it was a community garden that was growing over there in the lot at Midtown.
Right for the picking, wasn't it? It was high enough for me corn, wasn't it?
Somebody hit me up and said they saw some oregano over there and some basil.
Man, you can grow some weed over there. They wouldn't know anybody checking nothing over there.
Bruh.
You can be over there growing some marijuana. Ain't nobody checking nothing.
Hey.
Hold on.
They just don't want nobody to say nothing about anything around here. But like I said, this is a new day, and people are starting to wake up, and we are starting to want more. We're starting to want to see results. So it is what it is. I mean, I tell people like, I don't care what you think. You know, I'm here to, if whatever you think, it doesn't matter. It's what's going on. And sometimes what you feel and your emotions may not be aligned with what's actually happening. So with that understanding, maybe you can go do some research and try to educate yourself. I'm just here to put it out there.
Right. But it definitely something needs to be brought to the city's attention. Because if that was my yard, I would have fines on the door, people knocking on the door, all kind of things. And they may even cut it and then give me a bill for it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, get somebody over there.
They're not going to let me do like that.
Hey, but they might get somebody over there to cut the grass, and they may get paid to, do the upkeep. Plus, I saw like tires, like some kind of dumping ideas, like things were being dumped over there. I was like, are people dumping things over there at the Midtown? Because as I drove through, and I got a video that I didn't even show, that shows that they're dumping tires and other piles of different things that are over there.
Well, that would definitely get the city's attention because they seem to be spotlighting that when they did it on Villard over here. And they was illegally dumping. They put cameras and everything over there. They raised the amount of money you could get if you turn somebody in. It used to be $1,000 out, maybe more than that. If you turn somebody in, you catch them dumping, record them, get their license plate, whatever. So they seem to be kind of serious about that illegal dumping because it's got out of hand. So maybe the city would take notice of your video, put some cameras over there, or some people just be over there willing to record their stuff and get them some money. Get them a little stimulus.
Cut the grass and send the bill to the city. Plus, Elizabeth Brown brought up a good point. She said if she don't cut the grass by her house, she'll get a notice, or the regular citizens will get a note, hey, you got to maintain your property, right? Well, how is this going on to this degree over there on the other side of Midtown without somebody getting a notice or somebody saying, hey, look, this is not upkeeping the property and it's bringing the value down of the, the surrounding home ownership that's in the area?
Well, they might not know who to send it to. That company is out in Iowa. Mm-hmm. It's a city out in Iowa. It's the name of it, but it's in Iowa. And they may not have the mailing address. I don't know. They just put the notice on the door. Ain't going to do any good if no one's there to check the door.
Well, then if you get so many notices, then they get to take the property.
That's what they did out there at Northridge.
Hey.
That's what they do at our house.
I'm just saying, it's different rules.
I just want, us to come together, because there's no reason anybody should be on that post saying anything against what you are trying to spotlight. It shouldn't be anything like, you're right, man, we're going to see what we can do to make this better. Don't see all the weeds and then say we got upkeep, we got cleaned up, we got all this, and you still see the weeds and all that tires and everything there. You can't say that. So just stop all the division, stop all the going back and forth and everything. Try to sound like you smart, like you talking. Well, y'all need to research and see. Oh man, you need to open your eyes.
Let me tell you something. As soon as somebody say something about research, you know they lying. You know, like they can look. You can look it up, but if that's what you leading with, you know they lying. But like I said, it's out there. Information is out there, but sometimes, I think people like to hear themselves, say stuff, even if it's, I don't know. But like I said, when you're on the front lines, you get a lot of that. We was looking for that missing girl. She's now at home.
Yes. Yes.
And that's a blessing. KK, Kylie Dawson is now home. But there's men that were dealing with her in a way that they need to go to jail. So we trying to get that done too.
And you're going to have people go against that too.
Right.
There'll always be something. Because I mentioned that too. And just last night, because I seen the post that you found, and somebody said, well, that girl was out there doing what she wanted to do. You don't know what she was doing. You don't even know the girl. Stop it with all the division. Everything you talk about, there is opposing side to it for no reason. You don't have to be, and I'm not even going to get to the Charlie Kirk stuff because I really never knew the guy prior to him being killed. So I don't know nothing about him. So, but there's a lot of division on that too, and it's dividing the country up. It's everything is just division. No matter what you post, you put some happy birthday, you're like, what's happy about it? Good morning. What's good about it?
Well, look, that's why we need the prayer. Hey, Truth Nation, I need everybody that's tuning in to the show to gather around and let's come together on one accord on this beautiful, powerful Monday. And I appreciate you, Miracle Minister Kevin, for the Monday prayer as usual.
My pleasure, my brother. Lord, as we see so much division and destruction going on around us, we come to the realization that your word is being revealed right before our very eyes. You told us that the love of many shall grow cold. But even with that, we also know that you are a consuming fire that can melt even the most frozen of hearts. Fill our hearts and minds with compassion, peace, forgiveness, understanding, joy, hope, and love for our fellow neighbors, whether we agree with them or not. Then we can feel safe in our homes, in our schools, our workplaces, and even on the streets. Sanctify our thoughts and deeds as we adhere to the scripture when the Apostle Paul said, let this mind be in you, which was also in Christ Jesus. I speak life and life more abundantly in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hey, anything else you want to say, Miracle Minister Kevin?
As always, my brother, stay cool, stay calm, stay focused.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
And that's Tory Lowe, bringing you all the action and all the smoke.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments. Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the new ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Talk to these people in terms of how do I register for this program despite my reservations and my previous experiences of rejection?
Yes, I tell anybody and everybody that you can buy a house. It may take somebody longer than the other person depending on what your circumstances is with your credit and income and affordability, but you can purchase a house. The first step would be is to register for our program. You can come to our office, 7830 West Burleigh Street, or you can give us a call at 414-461-6330, or just go onto our website, hri-wi.org. Register for the First Time Home Buyer Education Workshop. That's going to be your first step to home ownership. During that class, you're going to learn everything that you need to know from A to Z, how to get approved for a house, how to look for a house and put an accepted offer, and how to close on a home.
The Humane Animal Welfare Society, HAWS, believes in keeping pets healthy and families together. No one should have to choose between rent and veterinary care. The Wellness Clinic at Hawes Animal Shelter in Waukesha offers important basics of dog and cat care to our community. Pet owners can schedule general exams, sick visits, receive vaccinations, even get preventatives and nail trims. Appointments are available weekdays and can be scheduled by calling 262-542-8852. Contact Hawes of Waukesha today for your pet's care.
Bikers need protection, not just from other drivers, but unfortunately from insurance companies too. If you've been injured in a motorcycle crash, call Gruber Law Offices today. Bikers are often blamed for causing the accident because the insurance companies simply don't want to pay. At Gruber Law Offices, we've been fighting for injured bikers and their families for more than 30 years. Trust us to fight for what you deserve. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered with fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel. Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
It's the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Big stunner, but the shots can't miss. Hunter, real, I can't with you. I can't hang, ain't no snakes in none of my campaign. I'm gon' pop it like a bottle of champagne. Caught a rocket, we gon' take off on the stage. Gone.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show, DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. I wanna break something down right quick before we get into the pop culture report. This was a revelation that came to me a while ago, and I had to check myself a while ago. Like, okay, wait a minute, because I have to understand that growth is a continuous process. And so I came to this realization, and I wrote this note, and the note was, just because you're triggered and may have lived some bad lived experience, may have had some bad lived experiences, doesn't mean you have a right to take that out on someone else. And I see more and more that when people are triggered or they have lived experiences that are bad, they tend to have this guard, these walls up created by those experiences. And they kind of carry these experiences into other ideas, and they'll use those lived experiences, those bad lived experiences, and those triggers to guide themselves into the future. And I had to deal with the fact that, my dad wasn't around, or, my mom wasn't around, or maybe, I could have abandonment issues when I was coming up. And possibly, yes, because if you were abandoned, you would almost have an idea that you may have some abandonment issues. But there are people that have been mistreated, abused, all kinds of things happen to you as you grow. So I wanted to throw this out there because this is something that I had to understand, that just because you have lived some bad experiences and you get triggered, that doesn't mean you have to take that out on somebody else. And this is why when they say you got to heal, you may have to really reevaluate a lot of your decision making, because a lot of it may be based on lived bad experiences and, just having to manage life moving forward. So you're basing everything around those ideas, and many times you can be wrong to do that. Or like the way you feel is not the problem. It may be the interaction of the behavior and taking those ideas out on other people is the wrong thing to do. So I was discussing this with somebody, and I was like, what I had to do is realize that I had to consistently mature. I had to consistently add value to my thought process. And so I have arrived at the point where now I don't do those things. I just want to talk. I want to say, hey, I try to get a better understanding instead of leaning to my own understanding from my lived experiences and my triggers. Okay, so understanding is very important. And I had to start trying to gain an understanding instead of saying, okay, I'm going to associate what I'm seeing with something that I lived through in the past or a bad experience or something that's triggering. And so instead of going that route, I had to work to learn to talk to people and communicate and make the decision on what to apply once I tried to seek the communication. Now, some people are not going to give you no communication. I'm not saying everybody's at that level of maturity. I'm not saying that everybody's tapped in to the understanding that they have to continue to add value to themselves. Emotional intelligence. So that's a gem that I wanted to drop on y'all right quick, because many times people move and deal with people out of their life experiences, maybe bad experiences, maybe the guards that they put up, and the things that may trigger them. And then they'll associate every thought from there. How people act, how people talk. Oh, I know what that is, you know. So I learned, even with me, that I have to stop doing that and really seek, if I really wanted to seek, ask questions, understand what the situation truly is before I just start associating everything with my past lived experience. Understand what I'm saying, Truth Nation. This is where we got to be when you talk about moving forward, growth, healing, emotional intelligence, high vibration, being on a higher level of vibrating, and every day is another opportunity to add value to yourself. Every day is another day to understand that, okay, I got to make these adjustments as I move forward. Oh, it's powerful when you learn how to add value by correcting things that you may have thought. A lot of people think that when they feel a gut feeling or their emotions is always right, and that's wrong to even think that that's always right. You know what I mean? It's just not true. Sometimes you may feel happy with somebody today, and the next day you don't want to talk to them no more. You know, it's emotions switch, emotions change, people change, but make sure that you're adding the emotional, intelligent value and really do your research when you're dealing with things and you assuming from your past experiences and traumas. Many times you may feel a certain way, but you may apply the wrong strategy. And you got to learn how to overcome that. And I had to do it. That's why I'm throwing it out there for y'all. Hey, look, when we come back, we're going to have a Pop Culture Report, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
At Hazelden Betty Ford, treating mental health isn't just about breaking old patterns. It's about braving new ones. As the leader in alcohol and drug treatment for 75 years, we know caring for addiction, anxiety, depression, and trauma goes hand in hand. We're here for you with new tools when life breaks down. Discover your path to better mental health at hazeldenbettyford.org/Wisconsin. Sponsored by Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation.
We address people, young boys, as if they're grown when they're not. They're for me, they're not young men, they're young boys. And I think if we can keep them in that space, I can do a lot more with someone in middle school when I treat them as the boy that they are versus trying to make them men when they're not. And they probably have very few examples of that.
Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris every weekday from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app. Coming with straight truth.
Tory, I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you when I first started hearing your voice. And what you're doing, in the words of T-Pain and Gorilla, I love it.
Thank you, brother. Bless.
Hey, I'm down with you, man. I missed your last gathering, but the next one I'm going to be there, and I'm going to make sure I introduce myself because, hey, you're God in all circumstances.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Never miss a moment of The Truth with Sherwin Hughes on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Violence is a tool. Violence is a tool of oppression. It's a tool of subjugation. It's a tool of manifest destiny. Let's not say all of a sudden, oh, hip-hop music is why people are... No. Y'all know how America was discovered? Murder, slavery, human trafficking. The origins of violence predates hip-hop. Can we at least agree on that?
Listen to The Truth with Sherwin Hughes, weekdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tap into the best power hour in radio in Milwaukee.
Drop my pants. I had to make sure I wasn't seen, you know. I don't want nobody to get surprised.
This is a sick Negro.
I'm just a real one. I peed again, came on back. I said, what y'all been doing? We've been out here for 3 hours. Y'all ain't peed yet? Just sitting here, we playing beer pong, and y'all sitting here peeing next to me? I'm still itchy today. Thinking something wrong. Am I the only one that's astonished by this?
Catch Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace every weekday from noon to 1 p.m. on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers lead the NFC North at 2-0 after wins over Detroit and Washington. They'll head to Cleveland next Sunday to face the Browns at noon. The Brewers win their series against the Cardinals but lose the final game of the series 3-2.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Riley O'Brien avenges his blown save from yesterday, closes the door on the Brewers today. Your final 3-2, St. Louis.
The Crew will now host the Angels for a 3-game set. Brewers sit at 91-59 atop the MLB. Badger football fell to Alabama 38-14. The Badgers are now 2-1 on the season and will head back home to face Maryland next Saturday. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
In the city, maybe you should drive a Yukon. If I pick up whenever you call. In the parking lot in Tucson, like, are you with me? In the phantom with the roof gone. I pull up like Jimmy Neutron.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. We got GP in for the Pop Culture Report.
What it do?
Glenn Pearce, Truth Nation Insider in studio. Pop Culture Report. Hey, look, I'm going to tell you this. There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. The fight went on this weekend.
It was for the culture, though. He took that for the culture. It was a powerful event. For those who don't know, Terrence Crawford victorious by unanimous decision over Canelo Alvarez, which was, I want to say, one of the most hyped fights of this generation, if not of the last 10 years. And it didn't disappoint. I think the build-out was amazing. The undercard obviously was a little underwhelming because it's a lot of guys that you don't necessarily know too much about. But Bud won decisively. He touched Canelo up a couple times. I know there's a clip circulating where he hit him with a left hook, and it looked like Canelo was reconsidering his whole entire boxing career.
It looked like he said, that little boy got some power.
But no, I think it's a beautiful thing. Again, we talked about it, off air a little bit, but it's a beautiful thing that he took this for legacy and not just for the money. Right. He wanted to fight to prove a point. It wasn't all about securing his family's future necessarily. Obviously, the money is cool and all the legacy and the media and stuff like that, the coverage that comes with it. But he went out there and decisively beat one of a boxing Hall of Famer.
And he went up a couple weight classes, 21 pounds,
and that needs to be talked about a lot more as well.
And to tell you the truth, the difficulty of going up a class to fight a world-class fighter, you know what I mean? That's huge because now if he does do this, he's one of the greatest boxers of our time right now.
Yeah.
If he lose, the legacy takes a turn.
But
he fought a bunch of nobodies.
Mm-hmm.
He got into a real confrontation and couldn't overcome. Well, I guess Canelo is a nobody now, I guess.
I don't want to say a nobody.
Well,
but
I'm talking about according to what he was saying.
Well, that's the thing. I hate the aftermath that comes from a lot of these fights. We start questioning if these guys were ever really as good as they should have been at their peak. Because a lot of people said Canelo was too young to fight Mayweather when he fought Mayweather. And obviously Mayweather also beat the brakes off him. So we're going to start questioning whether Canelo really has any good wins or any good decisive wins over Hall of Fame quality-S boxers. But Canelo is his own beast within the same.
Right.
Again, props to him for not ducking this fight. He could have easily said, I already got the money. I already got the legacy that I need. I can cherry pick guys that I want to fight. He could have fought for whatever, WBA belt that they had or anything, IBF, any other smaller belts that he wanted to secure on the circuit. But that's the thing that we see a lot of times with these promoters and stuff like that. They're cherry picking guys who they know are going to go 10 to 12 rounds and not necessarily take a dive, but they don't offer any real resistance. Canelo hasn't put anybody out in a while, and he hasn't been knocked out to his credit.
Well, I can tell you this. He was outmatched.
Oh, easily.
Outclassed, outmatched. Yeah. Crawford definitely had a strategy to pick his time where he went toe-to-toe, bagged up, and understood that, okay, he put on a boxing class for the world to see.
Yeah.
And it seems like they were holding him back. He talked about he'd been asking for this fight for 2 years. They didn't think that the fighters he fought wasn't to that level. And he said, okay, well, what's going to happen when I win this fight? Okay, so
everybody quiet.
He talked the talk. Oh, it's crickets.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the purse. Canelo walks away with $150 million. Crawford walks away with $10 million, but he has the legacy. So what is more important, the money or the legacy?
I say legacy. Right. I feel like legacy is everything. I feel like when you, as a boxer, again, I've never fought. Obviously, I don't know what it takes to get in the gym and do your cardio work and your road work and hit the pads and go spar, 12 to 20 rounds a day. I think for Crawford, it was more about securing or proving something to himself. Right. I think when you get into the older stages of your career, you start trying to find reasons to keep going and keep doing what you're doing. And that applies to anything, whether you're in sales, whether you're a mechanic, or, whether you're a boxer.
Right.
You start trying to cherry pick reasons as to why you need to go above and beyond and keep training as hard as you do. And this was obviously a mountain, for him to climb. It was something that he wanted to conquer, and he went out there and he won decisively. Again, people forget that he won by unanimous decision. I think the scorecards probably gave Canelo maybe 4 rounds, if that. And
I didn't even think he had 4 rounds.
I would give him the first 2. I feel like he started off with some really good body work. He touched him to the liver a couple times.
He didn't even get those rounds. I think they started giving him rounds like after the 4th. Maybe it was because first I was like, okay, from what I was looking at, Crawford was winning all the rounds because he was outclassing him. He had more athletic ability. I think Canelo was looking for that big punch.
Yeah.
And I think that he was outclassed. And you saw that in the world seen that. And so as you move forward and you say, okay, does Bud take another fight to make up the difference from the $10 million and take a big fight? But who would that be with?
They keep floating around this guy from MMA, Ilia Topuria. They keep floating around another cross-boxing MMA kind of promotion thing. And I could care less for it because it takes too long to build it out. And obviously there's a lot more training and stuff that goes into it. For Crawford, they have to meet somewhere in the middle where it comes to weight. I think Ilia fights at like 130, 125-ish, and he's on his way to becoming a double champion, in the UFC ranks.
Right.
But they're jawing at each other. I mean, Canelo's called him drunk because Ilia Topuria thinks he's going to knock Bud out, ice cold. So
no, ain't nobody messing with Bud.
You don't think so? Not a man on
Can't
this
nobody
planet?
mess with. He the baddest man on the planet.
I would like to see. I've seen Ilia Topuria make some people take
they got to give Terrence Crawford his props. He went for legacy, not money. This man have been rated his whole. Even with this fight, he can't do it. He can't move up to 21 pounds. Canelo bigger. He hit that man with so much power. He said, "Whoo!"
he had to back up. And
he had to back up.
No, I believed in Crawford because, again, we saw when he fought Spence, and he beat the brakes off Spence. Spence hasn't had a fight since he ran into Bud. And the crazier thing is about that fight, Bud could have stopped him in the 5th or 6th round, but he wanted to prove a point. He hurt Spence bad.
Right.
Spence had to take a long layover, and I think he's on his way to. I think his name is floating around in a couple of other fight promotions. I think he's supposed to fight one of the Charlo brothers or whatever. But they're both, a little over the hill and kind of cherry picking opponents as well. So I think this fight will last longer in our minds depending on what Canelo's next move is. Because I don't think there's anybody else for Canelo really out there to fight that would challenge him and take him to that dark place. And I think he wasn't prepared to go to that dark place like Terrence Crawford was on Saturday.
Well, I see why he was willing to go all out, because it was an advertisement that was running that his mama would pay people to fight him, told him he wasn't the baddest, and said she would pay $10 to any kid in the neighborhood who could whoop her son.
For the trenches.
Yeah, and he fighting in the trenches like that, and the mom was like...
Yeah, he was hurting people bad.
Yeah,
I remember seeing that story.
The mom was like, hey, I believe that, my son wasn't the best. And now that kind of energy turned into what we see today.
Yeah, she raised a monster.
Hey, I don't know if she did it psychologically on purpose. You know what I mean? But she said, hey, I told him he wasn't going, he wasn't the best, and I'll pay any kid to do this. So can you imagine growing up where your mama betting against you and you got to go in that house, after that?
That's a different type of, I'm telling you, it's a different type of fuel that you run on. Again, she put that battery in his back from early on in his life, and obviously it carried into the ring Saturday. Again, I would like to see them run it back. I think this is something that could become a dual kind of thing. I just feel like Canelo's not going to want to take that fight because of how convincingly he got beat. And he even said it in the presser, after the post conference. He said that Bud is better than Mayweather. He said that Bud, gave him more of a stylistic kind of problem and touched him up a little bit more. He obviously hits harder than Mayweather because he carries more power in his gloves. I don't think Canelo's going to want to put himself in that dangerous situation again. Because the older you are, it's harder to go through fight camps.
And he didn't have the legs for this fight.
Yeah, he was flat-footed the entire time, and he was so frustrated.
You could tell he was frustrated chasing him all over the ring. And like I said, boxing is not to stand there and get punched. I mean, you got to move around. You can't hit a moving target like easy. So he kept it moving. He picked his spots. I believe he dominated the whole fight. I mean, you can say whatever you want to say, but I saw excellence. I saw somebody that put on a clinic. And I didn't think it wasn't even close. Yeah. Like you said, it was a unanimous decision. Yeah. But why did they question him and ask him, was he going to fight again? But then Canelo didn't get that question. He's planning on fighting. He got 62 fights, 3 losses and 2 draws. So why would he quit fighting at this point when, Floyd Mayweather retired with, 50 wins or something like that?
50-0, yeah.
So is he chasing the win record, or if he continues to fight, what is he fighting for now? That's what the question is.
I think it's just to step out there and just kind of feel that adrenaline. It doesn't even become about the money at this point. Obviously, we talk about...
So you just say he a beast?
It just might be. If you don't know anything else but war your entire life, it might just be the way to continue living on. Again, we talk about Tyson all the time. Tyson's 60-something. He spars and trains and gets after his road work every day because he just can't let it go. He wants to always feel like that most powerful version of himself.
It just seems like right now okay, so they made the announcement.
Right.
Tyson is going to fight Floyd Mayweather in this exhibition. And I say get your money. But now it seems like boxing is, with the Paul brothers, it's turning into like a circus almost.
Yeah.
This was something real. This Terrence Crawford, Canelo fight, this is old school. The best fighting the best. Putting it all on the line, putting their records and their history on the line. That was real boxing back then.
Absolutely.
Now I don't know what these exhibition fights are. These are scripted, more entertainment-driven, money-driven fights, and you don't see the legacy in it.
Yeah, I think that's something that we also need to pay attention to. Again, I grew up a very big boxing fan, and this was when you really couldn't go stream anything illegally online. You had to pay $60 to $70 to watch and stay up till 12 or something, to watch HBO boxing. Like, some of my fondest memories, again, of watching HBO boxing with my dad, and you would see Floyd Mayweather kind of the build out to the fight. You would see Floyd go through his day-to-day. He's out shopping, and then he's hitting his road work in the morning with his TMT team, or he was, out, sparring and in the gym kind of getting after it. And also his opponent, again, like one of my favorite fights that I've ever gotten to see was when Floyd Mayweather knocked out Ricky Hatton, who recently passed away as well. And you see that a lot of these fighters weren't terrified to take on these chances and these risks. It wasn't even about legacy. It wasn't about anything about embarrassment. It was, I wanted to prove to you that I let my hands do the talking. Mm-hmm. If you fight for a living, you don't got to speak too much. You either going to whoop somebody or you're not. And so it really gave me that old school feel about, the boxing that I watched of old. I think that's the main thing that we need to take away here. This is exactly what boxing should be and how it should be promoted year to year or event to event.
I agree. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more Pop Culture Report. Stay locked in.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Are you ready to level up your mindset, money, and your future? Join Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor, success coach, and published author for our monthly show On the Journey with Coach Erica. Every month, she will give you real strategies, proven tips, and the mindset shift you need to reach your goals. Join us September 16th at 6 p.m. as she will be joined by Alexandria Ellis of Giovanna Wellness, LLC, and Rashad Washington of Pro Painter USA. Your journey to success starts right here. That's On the Journey with Coach Erica, live on Tuesday, September 16th at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
School's back in session. Kids have their backpacks, school supplies, and new clothes. But are you ready as a parent? Families are the single most important factor in a child's academic success. This year, get to know your child's teachers. Stay engaged with their learning. Don't be shy about asking questions along the way. Because as a parent, you are your child's first and most important teacher. Learn more about how City Forward Collective is helping families, students, and schools thrive at cityforwardcollective.org.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Hi, I'm Brittany Miller from Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more. Custom T-shirts, sweatshirts, jackets, hats, you name it. We can do it. Big Frog Custom T-Shirts and more is family owned and all about celebrating life's big moments. Maybe it's a milestone birthday, a celebration for your child's first goal, or that work fundraising event. We are everyone's printer. No minimum orders, affordable designs, and help straight from me and our team. We're the one-stop shop for all your custom needs. Start your project today at bigfrog.com/Mequon.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
By your side, do or die. Another one. For my DJ Khaled.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show, DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. We got GP in the studio for the Pop Culture Report.
What it do?
Glenn, What else is going on in these pop culture streets?
It was a crazy weekend. We had some tension between one of our favorite older and younger couples, I should say. Jalen Green, NBA player, formerly of the Houston Rockets, now I believe on the Phoenix Suns, 23, and Drea Michelle, 40 years old. Not sure. I want to call her a video vixen or an influencer, whatever they call her.
Cougar.
Wow, or whatever.
Hey.
Yeah, but they got into it. They were at Fashion Week, and there was a clip circulating of them arguing on the street, which led to Jalen Green threatening to harm her. Again, I don't want to repeat his exact words that came up in the video, but they seem to have worked it out on social media. I believe they posted a couple pictures and popped up at a couple other events later that weekend.
But she got a young NBA player. He's not going to work like somebody in their 40s. He's just experiencing life. He's trying to adjust to the money, the fame, the attention. She jumped on him right away. She pounced on him.
Yeah.
Put it on him. They got a baby. Okay.
He's a goofy to me.
So what I'm saying is now she has to go through the growing pains of a 23-year-old.
But that's the crazy part.
What was you doing at 23?
At 23?
Yeah, I'm talking about growing up. Like
I was talking to women that was 40, but I wasn't.
I'm talking about, but you're still trying to figure things out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 26 now. Me 3 years ago was completely different than how I was at 23. I saw life in a completely different space, and obviously, with regard to relationships, there's a lot of self-reflecting that you need to do day to day. Especially as I couldn't imagine being a young millionaire parent with a woman that is almost twice my age. And it
could be his mom.
But that's the thing. I
think his mom called her.
You think so?
Yeah, you out there with my son, arguing with my son. Like I believe his mother.
He's too far gone already.
Okay, but what I'm saying is she was up trying to get up on top of him. So if I'm a mom and I'm watching a woman my age or around like that could be his mom doing this. You can't tell me his mama ain't gave her a call.
It ain't no amount of good that your mother could do if you were already stuck on stupid about some cat. He was 23 years old.
I'm talking about not him, her.
Oh, her? But even still, I'm saying if his mom wanted to look out for him, there was no point in her trying to check Drea because Jalen Green was going to do whatever he wanted to do at the end of the day. Whatever they got going on in the bedroom don't involve mama. Mama can't do no saving. Yeah, but what I'm saying
is it's a difference when it's two young people going through growing pains.
Right.
This is why, when you have a huge age difference, I'm sure I would guarantee you that the mom gave that woman a call. Because this is a young cat that's trying to find himself. You telling me that with all the attention he's going through, then fashion, then the way the world works now, it's so many things he's exposed to that probably 20 years ago wasn't going on, or wasn't seen outright. It wasn't as many cameras to show that this was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, everything you do now is caught on camera. You got everybody thinking that they TMZ. And so here we go with this footage, and this is the first sign that you see with them that there's some difficulty going on.
Yeah, but that's the thing. He is green, no pun intended. Again, he is 23, and this is probably his, I don't want to assume, but this might be his first actual serious relationship. And we talk about it all the time, again, that there are a lot of these kids that have this crazy attachment to some of these women. I hate to say it, but it's that dynamic, that first bad woman that you end up with. Mm-hmm. And he fell in head first. They're living in a house together or whatever, and he's still trying to establish himself career wise. She's 40 something, and he's still in his prime as a young man. He's gonna get attention and looks and stares from other women who might not look as good as Drea will in 10 to 20 years. I don't see this lasting. Obviously, they're not even married. So who's to say that they go this far? But regardless, they're attached to each other for life, and there was no one in his corner.
She got the bag.
She got money already, but she's still taking a portion of whatever he got. So
all right. Well, I just don't like the fact that when you have that dynamic of an older woman chasing or involved with a young child, basically, you know, then now it's trouble in the waters. Hey,
it's all about who you got in your corner.
They need a reality TV show.
Oh, I would watch it.
I would watch it.
I
would definitely peek at it to see what's happening. All right, Glenn. Thank you for the Pop Culture Report.
As always, I appreciate it.
Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we're going to open up the lines. Stay locked in.
The pulse of the Milwaukee Bucks, straight from a Bucks legend.
Can't get it off. Marcus Johnson will, though. Can't leave him alone for a 12.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson on Bucks Plus. Marcus and his son Chris offer a weekly beat on Bucks basketball. Get your questions answered and hear from the biggest names in basketball. Find Here District with Marcus Johnson at bucks.com/plus on the Bucks app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Day one, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day one is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day one.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles. The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
You're just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 101.7 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice, Wisconsin, the truth. The most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM. The movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. Stand up. It's Tory, Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4. We about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice. We want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory, Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
101.7 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the second hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And before we get into the situation that's starting to develop with this Charlie Kirk and people getting fired for what they're saying online, I want to talk about this right here. President Donald Trump has approved FEMA. This happened September 12, 2025, making FEMA Wisconsin eligible, flood victims eligible for FEMA in Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha counties. This is how to apply. I guess y'all need to look this up if y'all ain't looked it up. When Friday came, when I got off the show, that's when I saw this. But FEMA has been approved for those that are looking for some type of relief. They're saying that they're trying to, this is how to apply for the FEMA assistance. 1, gather information. You'll need contact information, including email, your address, your social security number, and a general list of your damages and losses. You can contact FEMA. You can apply online or by phone. And you should mention if you have insurance. You should mention If you have insurance, document your losses. I told y'all. Now, look, I told y'all when everybody was like, oh, he ain't going to approve FEMA and this and that. I said, no, make sure you make a paper trail. Make sure that you document your losses. Even when you get a denied insurance claim, make sure that you get denied and save the paperwork. And now they're saying that you got to document your losses. So you should have already did that. They say FEMA may send an inspector to assess the damage to your home and confirm eligibility for assistance. They also said that that they may look at your denied insurance claim as well. So if you got denied, they may look at that. You may have to provide that too. So like I said, once again, FEMA has been approved for those the people that have lost things in the flood. And once again, it's for Milwaukee, Washington, and Waukesha counties. They said, how much, 20, 28, or 29 million? Around there, something like that. I guess that's lower than the cost that they said overall, but it's money out there, so make sure that y'all send y'all paperwork in. If y'all have flood damage, make sure that y'all documentation beat everything, send it in, and if y'all do send it in, let me know how much y'all get, because I don't know. I don't know what the average person is getting through this, but let me know. Call into the show and let me know, because I'm very interested in what they're going to do. Also, I want to open up the lines because I'm seeing something that's happening out here, and I did it. I ain't gonna even front. I done took a lot of people jobs off social media. A long time ago, like when I started social media, and I seen racist people on the post, or people that was saying wild racist things against, blacks or whatever, whoever. It could be anybody if it was racist. And I would go to their page and I would find out where they worked, and then I would screenshot it and send it to the human resources to their jobs, and then they would get fired. I've been doing that. But I didn't think that this Charlie Kirk thing would be that way, like where somebody would, it was a lot of political fuel on this, depending on what side you was on. I haven't seen a video, DJ Brothers E, where the man rode the scooter through the vigil and said, what he had to say, and I think he got beat up a little bit. But what I'm saying is, this is why I tell people to watch what you post on social media. Watch what you post, because it could come back to bite you. Social media is a living, breathing document. And I've been saying this for a long time. But I am surprised. I ain't gonna lie. I am surprised that people were getting fired over this Charlie Kirk situation, due to his political involvement, due to how he was going around doing debate ideas, and the energy he was stirring up. I'm surprised that they allowed, or they was accepting for people to get fired from this. But we got some footage of this. They're saying that a lot of people losing their jobs for what they saying online. We got video. If you're watching this, we broadcast live. Let's listen.
Nationwide, including right here in the Valley, sports media company PHNX announced they parted ways with their Suns beat reporter after he made a series of tweets about people's reactions to the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And just today, Karma Scottsdale, a group fitness studio, announced on Instagram an employee was fired after making posts on their personal account about Kirk's murder. Two lawyers I spoke with caution that what you put out on social media can have an impact on your job.
As news of Charlie Kirk being assassinated made its way to people around the country and the world, the reactions and posts on social media came fast and furious.
It's really becoming very hard to distinguish what is okay and protected that you can't be punished for, and what is not okay and not protected and you can and cannot be punished for.
Marjorie Mesidor is an employment attorney. Across the country, some teachers, reporters, even a Secret Service agent have been fired or placed on leave for their social media posts about the assassination.
People look at freedom of speech and they believe that it's just licensed to be able to say whatever, wherever you want without repercussions, but that's simply not true.
Generally speaking, in Arizona and in other right-to-work states, an employer retains the ability to terminate an employee for essentially any reason.
Partner at the Rose Law Group, Logan Elia, says government workers have a little more leeway when it comes to social media, but if what you're posting isn't about a protected act or isn't posted anonymously, you're putting yourself at risk of possibly being fired.
I think maybe for many people, it's more important that your opinion be considered and well stated than it is that your opinion be immediate. And I think that's the lesson to take away from this.
Hey.
So at the end of the day, it's up to the employer in most
all right,
cases.
well, I'll tell you this. I looked it up, and I want to open up the line. Should a person be fired for what they posting on social media? I mean, let's start right there. Like I said, I'm shocked that they allowed this Charlie Kirk situation to go like that due to the way he presented things, controversial issues. And maybe if you agreed with what happened or not, this is a controversial figure. And I don't know, maybe you can probably challenge the firing, but in Wisconsin is a right to work state, meaning that under state law, employees cannot be required to join a union or pay union dues as a condition of employment in the private sector. This is where they say that they can, fire you, just because. But I'm going to tell you, a lot of y'all ain't got no jobs right now because when they did the background check, you had wrote some wild on social media. They even using social media to do the background check on you. They looking online to see what type of person you is. I'm asking Truth Nation, should you be judged by your social media? Should you be judged by what you posted on social media when it comes to getting a job? I want to know. 833-212-1017. Some of y'all, when they look at y'all social media, y'all don't even know y'all ain't got hired because of what y'all done posted on Facebook. They done went scrolling. We got Security Mike on the line. Security Mike. How you doing, Security Mike?
How you doing, T-Lowe?
Hey,
T-Lowe. This state we living in, they don't owe you no explanation. They can fire you for anything.
Right.
And I'm so old. I'm glad I ain't know nothing like that.
What you say? You wouldn't have been able to get no job.
Yeah, we put stuff out here and stuff, but I wouldn't be saying stuff crazy anyway.
Right.
The man didn't deserve to die from stuff he said, but man, I heard about a lot about this dude and stuff he said about us is so disparaging, man. Now they can say what they want to say because they say that dude called George Floyd a scumbag while he was getting murdered, and he was able to say that. I guess we can't say what we want to say.
Well, Charleston White said the same thing. Like, what I'm saying is, you shouldn't be able to lose your job if somebody's that highly controversial. That's why I'm saying, like, this guy is a controversial figure, Security Mike.
I got
you. That shouldn't fit in the argument of you losing your job. I mean, maybe if you said the N-word, maybe if you called somebody something racial, that right there, okay, you shouldn't be doing that. I don't want you to work here. But just because you have an opinion about somebody's death is causing you to lose your job over his opinions about what his strong controversial opinions was. I don't think that's, to me, that don't sound like that should be taking place. To me.
Yeah, to me, it's a double standard. They can say stuff, but we can't. Because that man called George Floyd a scumbag when he was losing his life in front of the world to see. Turk called him a scumbag. That's sad, man. I don't know what this world is coming to.
But he said a lot of controversial things all across the board.
Right, and one of their own didn't like it. Right. And one of their own took him out.
Right. So what I'm saying is he offended a lot of people with his conversation. And so when people react a certain way to his death, I don't believe that's something you should actually send in to try to get somebody fired. Now, I didn't send in people that said the N-word, people that said things that they shouldn't have been saying, racially motivated ideas, and got people jobs taken. I did that. I've done that multiple times. But this situation is interesting. Interesting to see. Brian, how you doing, Brian?
Pretty good. Love your show.
Blessings, Brian.
I just want to say, I think this is a dangerous. Obviously, this is a dangerous time, but this is a test case. This is a test run to see how much they can get away with as far as taking your rights away. Now, it's really not taking your rights away. Social media is not owned by people that put stuff on there. It's owned by the creators that created it. So you're not subject to I have freedom of speech. Because, first of all, you don't own the platform. Somebody else owns the platform. And you can still say what you want to say. However, the consequences, people can make whatever consequences they want to make based on the things that you say. So you're really not losing your rights, but there are consequences. As far as black folks dealing with these kinds of things, I don't think we need to be in that kind of realm, because I think these other races of Caucasian folks are really starting to eat their own. They're turning in on each other, and we have to be strategic in how we deal with their issues. I think that they're metastasizing right before our eyes, and it's really sad to see. But yeah, white folks are metastasizing. They're turning in on each other, and that's a dangerous, dangerous time.
Oh wow! And it's all, and to me, it's all politically motivated. You know, it's political. It's left versus right, extreme left versus right, and I think that we as the black community get caught in the shuffle of these political battles because we have nothing to show for it many times when we do get involved in a lot of these big political conversations. We end up becoming the doormat for a lot of these political conversations. And Malcolm X said it the best. Malcolm X, if you hear what he say about black and political, go listen to it. He said it the best. But what I'm saying is we're living in a time where people are so upset with what happened with Charlie Kirk that they are trying to find ways to put what they call retaliate in multiple ways, even though it was a white person that did the crime. They shut down some HBCUs because of this. Because there's people that was trying to find a reason to lash out. Even though it was a white person that pulled the trigger, they're blaming the left. And many times, many blacks associate with the left, or they are voting base for the left. So now they're just trying to take out the frustration and the energy, and they had to close down the HBCUs because of that. See, this is how crazy it's getting. This is how crazy it's getting. So now they looking for ways to just attack, and a lot of people losing their jobs right now. When we come back, we got White Widow on the lines. We got Eddie on the lines. We got some chat. We got some talk to text. When we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Do I dare even answer this man's call?
Sure. Are you there?
I ain't even answered the damn call yet, man. Bob, keep this on the... Bob, listen to me. Keep this on the subject matter, and if you can, we can't take your call, man. You distracted.
Okay, now look. Since you don't listen to Linda about getting married, at least take that thing around your neck to push when something happens.
Watch all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows by subscribing to 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Hey, Truth Nation, it's your girl DT from The Truth Unfiltered with DT and Dr. Ken Harris. Now listen, at a critical time, through the Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, Old National Bank provided the resources I needed to sustain my business. Now the process had its challenges, but I was supported, and it was also an invaluable learning experience for future ventures. I am so grateful for the support that helped my business thrive. Old National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender, all loans subject to approval.
Looking to save on gently used kids' clothing, toys, books, and baby gear? Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County is helping families say yes. From September 18th to the 21st at Wisconsin State Fair Expo Center, shop thousands of items in one place. September 18th is pre-sale day. Pay tickets online, get first pick, plus free tickets for first-time parents, grandparents, veterans, first responders, teachers, and daycare directors. Consign your gently used items, earn 60%, and shop early with a friend. For more information, go to Milwaukee County, JBFSale.com. Families helping families.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
Literally one call, that's all.
I made one call, and that's all, worry-free.
One call, that's all. It worked.
Just one call, and that's all.
They will do what they say they're going to do. One call, and that's all.
One call, that's all means security.
It's literally one call, that's all.
It's a phrase we'll never forget. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? What happened to that boy? He was talking, we put a clap into that boy. What happened to that boy? Whoa. What happened to that boy? Yeah. What happened to that boy? He was talking, we put a clap into that boy. I heard he snitching on a player.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. Question of the day. Should what you post on social media cost you your job? Should it be used to not give you a job? I mean, I know a lot of y'all filling out applications. They doing them background checks. They asking for your social media. And they looking and seeing them posts. Some of y'all wondering why I can't get no job. And maybe because you online, you wilding online. We gonna head to the lines. White Widow.
Hey.
How you doing, White Widow?
Hey, could everybody just get along? Hey, pretty good. But this is what's happening. It's ironic that a man was shot. They're saying it was a political assassination because he was outspoken about some right-wing conversations. Let's remind everybody, anybody who went, they went voluntarily to listen to him.
Right.
Now, it's ironic where people now are being terminated for exercising the same right. One guy gets killed, people are getting fired. This is a fire at will state. First thing you need to do is file for unemployment. That is the third party. You got the company's policy saying, I don't like what you said. And that's the third party. That's yourself and the third party. You file for unemployment. You maintain that nothing off the clock words impeded your ability to do your job, created a hostile work environment. None of that, nothing you said on there, and you're going to get, and hopefully there'll be precedents now set in the state. I don't know what has happened in the past, where you will get your unemployment. No, they can't get your job back, but it is ironic that this fallout is happening. But people watch out. In the in England, United Kingdom, there's been 2,300 people who've been arrested for what they're saying online. An Irish comedian stepped off the plane. He got arrested because he's got trans jokes. So I don't know. United States is so reactionary. We went woke. George Floyd dies. There's no documentary because he was such a bad person, yet he mobilized the world. And the fact of the matter is, the momentum was lost with corrupt, BLM and, ABC, LGBTQ, RSTUV. They've talked about diverse programs out there. I ain't seen any black young men being hired at the state or city building. I've seen a lot of white gay guys got hired. So, the fact that, I'm go ahead, call me anti-Semitic because I don't like Israel. I'll take it. You know what I mean? So the fact of the matter is, pursue it. Also, there's the National Labor Relations Board. You can go down there across the street from Tory, the blue building, and that's that federal aspect. Hey, I was wrongfully terminated. You're the feds. First Amendment rights. So I don't know. It'll be interesting whether any attorneys take these type of cases because there's not a lot of money. But also, if anybody has a tenacity and perseverance to really pursue those aspects. So, I'm working on my third part, and now I'm delving into misdemeanors. Tory, it's harder to remove a misdemeanor than a felony.
Hey, it can be like that. And a salute to everything you're doing for the brothers and sisters to get them expunged, White Widow. I appreciate it. I know one of the guys that you've been working with to help get his felony expunged. So salute to White Widow. But what I'm saying is this country was built on free speech. But that don't mean that the employment sector was built on free speech. Now, you can say what you want. You can say anything you want, but they may view that as something that I don't want in my company. Now, with Charlie Kirk, I just don't, like I said earlier, he was a very controversial and addressed a lot of different issues. Not only black, he said a lot of things about Palestine. He said a lot of things about Israel. I look at all now that they got it all swarming in the algorithm. He just wasn't saying things that made black people raise an eyebrow. He was saying a lot of different other things that was making people say, "Okay, what's really going on with this guy?" He was ruffling a lot of feathers, but politically, he was more right, far right. Okay, so that's all I'm saying. Should you be fired or should you be judged by your employer by what you post on social media? That's my question. Eddie. How you doing, brother Eddie?
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Good day, Tory Lowe. How you doing this Monday, Tory?
Look, it's a lot of things going on over the weekend. I'm just trying to see if you're able to post what you want online without any repercussion.
Well, Tory, let me just say this. As the number one Caucasian pundit on 101.7 The Truth FM.
Here we go.
I would say this. Yes. I would say this, Tory. It used to be, I'm 60. I think you're around 50. But you'll remember this. It used to be that somebody would say, hey, who are your new neighbors? Oh, his name is Johnny. And I think he's kind of a liberal guy. I smell marijuana. He wears tie-dyes, listens to the Grateful Dead. But when I broke my ankle, him and his son came and shoveled my driveway and the sidewalk for 8 weeks. There wasn't a difference. People were allowed to have a difference. So if you drank Coke and I drank Pepsi, you drove a Ford, I drove a Chevy, you wore Nike and I wore Adidas, you were a liberal Democrat and I was your right-wing Republican neighbor. People were tolerant of that until the last, I'm going to say 10 or 15 years, where the left, Tory, not the right is always looking to be tolerant. We're guilted into being tolerant and accepting of people. The left was the one who ran around screaming tolerance, acceptance, diversity in thought and lifestyle, and coexist with everybody. But you go, I'm a Republican, not you. I mean, if you were gay, transgender, pansexual, transsexual, that's the tolerance we're looking for. But not a straight, white, heterosexual, conservative, Republican male. We hate you guys. You're toxic. What they really mean is they're jealous. And there's no way they can take our leadership in this country fairly. They have to damage us. They have to put weights on our ankles to even be in competition with us. So what they did was they took 2 generations of males, guilted them for their success, told them they were toxic anytime they did anything that was forward and free thinking. So it isn't conservatives who don't want to tolerate the left. It isn't conservatives shooting at the left. It isn't conservatives canceling their employees who are on the left. It's the other way around, and now the chickens have come home to roost because now they're getting the same treatment that they've been giving for the last 10 years. I've been a victim of it myself because of my political beliefs. The left is getting what they created, and that's all there's to it, Tory. That's all there's to it.
Wasn't somebody from the right that drove that car through that crowd in Charlottesville?
Well, there's a whole story behind that. Now people are coming out. Ironically,
wasn't that a political attack on people protesting, and somebody drives a car through the protest?
I'd be happy to. I'd be happy to explain.
So you said because you was trying to make it seem like it's not happening on both sides.
Well, let me explain what happened in Charlottesville because I don't have firsthand knowledge, but I have secondhand knowledge.
I'm just saying.
Somebody, it was told, and this has to do with people from Milwaukee, Tory, from Milwaukee's east side. Somebody pulled a rifle and pointed it towards that, I think it was in a Mopar, some Challenger, Charger, whatever, and that guy backed up and that girl got killed. That guy would have done that unless somebody was pointing a rifle right at him and he was trying to elude the shooter. Nobody talks about that. I know about it firsthand because apparently the FBI showed up at one of my buddy's doors and confiscated his phone, and that phone had video of this happening. So, the story that people put out, and I've had it happen to myself, people say things, but not necessarily the truth.
I think everybody, depending on what angle they want to take, depending on what political party they in, I believe that both sides, I think all sides do that.
Yeah, but one more so than the other. I don't know any of my conservative friends who have ever fired any employees, any contractor, any worker, any vendor for being on the left. But I know personally it's happened to me, and I know other people have said it happened to me. They stopped once they saw a bumper sticker on the back of my car. And that was it. They asked me about it, and that was it. They started this cancel culture stuff, and now it's biting them in the butt, and they don't like it. And pretty soon, it'll go on for a little bit, and things will get back to normal. And some of these younger people who think they're so enlightened because they took a couple of courses at UWM and they got a tattoo, some of those people are going to grow up, they're going to mature over the next handful of years, and the way they think and they feel and they express themselves on social media is going to be 160% different in the next couple of years when they fall in love, move to the Wow counties, have a couple of kids. People grow up, they mature. I didn't, but everybody else. And they'll change their minds on a lot of these things. They're going to become a little bit more conservative. Tory, on that note, I got to go. I got to get back to Milwaukee. I was up in Peterborough all day. Tory, I got to go. Say bye to Zach, Tory. Bye.
All right. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey, look, all I'm saying is when you talk about what's going on in America today, I feel like we were on the edge of like this kind of political civil war because it was getting nasty when it came to the politics. Things were going on that made me raise an eyebrow over the last 4 to 5 years. And I'll tell you this, like now with this Charlie Kirk and them taking it out on HBCUs, when I see this, they're just trying to look for anybody on the left. Now the retaliation, I call it the post-Charlie Kirk, where now people are trying to vent and take out things on people that they believe is on the left because they believe that the left was behind this type of incident. And now I see social media posts where people are, people that are on the right, they're angry and they're looking for a way to let out that anger on somebody that they feel is from the left. And many times blacks get targeted in that anger, that type of rage. And I'll tell you this, it's all stupid. It's all stupid and it's all dumb. When we come back, we got Dan on the lines. We got some chat, we got some talk to text. We're going to try to get to it all when we get back. Truth Nation! Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
School's back in session. Kids have their backpacks, school supplies, and new clothes. But are you ready as a parent? Families are the single most important factor in a child's academic success. This year, get to know your child's teachers. Stay engaged with their learning. Don't be shy about asking questions along the way. Because as a parent, you are your child's first and most important teacher. Learn more about how City Forward Collective is helping families, students, and schools thrive at cityforwardcollective.org.
Did you forget the first day of school is this week and little Nancy still needs her name embroidered on her backpack? Or the company shirts are due now, not next week? Maybe the boss just declared Steve's retirement party is today and the shirts are mandatory? Whatever the rush, Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more in Mequon has got you covered with fast turnarounds, no minimums, eco-friendly printing, and high-quality custom apparel. Big Frog brings your custom ideas to life fast. Stop by Big Frog in Mequon or visit bigfrog.com/Mequon. Big Frog Custom T-shirts and more, where your ideas leap to life.
This is your Versity Blood Center of Wisconsin Community Impact Moment on 1017 The Truth.
What was the life change? We all know it happened and we know things happen and you have bad kidneys, but what was the life change afterwards?
A couple things. Before they even allow you to get on the list, they make you go through a battery of tests. And, a lot of people don't qualify because they're overweight or they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol. So all those things are requirements before you can even get approved to be on the list. So I had...
Wait, you got to be approved to be on the list?
Absolutely.
Wow.
It's interesting. There's a professional athlete or former professional athlete I know right now that has kidney disease and he's on dialysis and he wants to get on the list and he's not accepting all the things you have to do, to get on the list. But yeah, so for me, I spent 30 years in the automobile industry. That's 12, 14-hour days, eating whatever somebody brings you to eat, whatever you run out and grab, McDonald's, whatever. It was never salads and,
Yeah, but that was a
water.
choice, right?
It was a choice.
Yeah.
But I had to change all of that to even qualify to be on the list. I had to get down to the weight I had to be at. I had to get my phosphorus under control, my potassium under control.
Wait a minute. Even though somebody said they would give you a kidney,
absolutely,
you had to still make yourself eligible?
Absolutely.
Nah, that's okay.
When I mentioned the athlete, his relative actually died and they wanted to take his organs, and they couldn't because he wasn't qualified. He wasn't on the list. Yeah, you have to be.
So there are over 100,000 people on that waiting list. So they are very serious.
And how many donors do we have?
And that's the problem. We don't have nearly enough donors. And that's why it's such a critical need. But they are serious about who they're giving that gift of life to, because there are so many people who are literally dying waiting for it.
To make an impact by donating blood in your community, visit versity.org today.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers lead the NFC North at 2-0 after wins over Detroit and Washington. They'll head to Cleveland next Sunday to face the Browns at noon. The Brewers win their series against the Cardinals but lose the final game of the series 3-2.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Riley O'Brien avenges his blown save from yesterday, closes the door on the Brewers today. Your final 3-2, St. Louis.
The Crew will now host the Angels for a 3-game set. Brewers sit at 91-59 atop the MLB. Badger football fell to Alabama 38-14. The Badgers are now 2-1 on the season and will head back home to face Maryland next Saturday. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 101.7 The Truth app, at 1017thetruth.com.
I got these rollers in my head and I ain't afraid to shoot. You know I love to shoot. I got these rollers in my head and I ain't afraid to shoot you. Don't make a sound. I got these rollers in my head and I ain't afraid to shoot.
101.7 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos. Should you be fired for posting on social media how you feel? Should employees be able to look on your social media and be like, I don't think I want to hire that person? You know, because when I see what's going on with this Charlie Kirk and people are getting fired from their jobs many times, now if that makes me scratch my head that that's happening. But what even makes me scratch my head more that something is happening is that HBCUs are on alert after threats following the Charlie. Why is HBCUs being threatened for what happened in Utah with a white male that was the one that was responsible? Regardless of his political beliefs, what does this have to do with HBCUs? I'll tell you, because they feel that most blacks vote liberal. And I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of meathead, airhead, dumb bot people, they will take out energy on people that don't even deserve the energy.
Dumb.
That's dumb. That is dumb. And people do it, though. And like when I was talking about at the beginning of the show, I had to learn not to allow my lived experiences, my bad lived experience and my triggers that I face to guide my decision making. And now they see a bad lived experience, it's triggering, and now they're trying to take it out on somebody else. When you see stuff like that, that's the lack of emotional intelligence. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're seeing right now. We got Dan on the lines. How you doing, Dan?
Hey, Tory, how you doing, brother? P.
Blessings, brother Dan.
Man, yeah, thank you so much, man. I just find it hysterical. After all the gaslighting these people then did, and then now they got an issue with someone expressing their thoughts and opinions, in my eyes, that's a form of prejudice and discrimination. And if you're going to fire an employee because they gave their own opinion on their own personal time, I can see if it's on time. Now, I'm a former military service member, so you know, I can see it from both perspectives and everything, but, you know, when you're on your own time and, you know, hey, you can say what you want to say. Is that not our given right? Or does it only apply to certain people? There's a lot of contradiction going on right now and everything, but I think they just looking for a way out and just to twist everything. But at the end of the day, they brought this upon themselves. People have, I mean, these corporations and all and these Trump supporters, they brought this stuff upon themselves. So now all of a sudden, the whole agenda was to get rid of wokeness, and now y'all awake. I find it hysterical.
Hey, these narratives, they go back and forth. They switch back and forth. It's like a ping pong. I see it on, that's why I say, like, people got short-term memory. I look at all the sides and I see how they play in the game. And that's why I say, like, you got to sit back and see that where we're going overall as a country is over the cliff or close to civil war, to another civil war within a political civil war. It's been going on politically, but now it's starting to affect in a way where this Charlie Kirk situation, I hope they don't try to turn this into something to ignite a type of clash, a physical clash between the left and the right. That's what I don't want. That's why we got, as a people, sometimes we can't get caught up in this mainstream donkey, elephant, gang type political type of situations that I'm starting to see. Sometimes we as people got to say, okay, we got to use our common sense. But common sense sometimes ain't common. We got Winky Blue on the lines. How you doing, Wink?
Hey, my main man, I appreciate you for taking my call.
Bless brother.
I've been listening to the callers, and you raise a very interesting question. Now, when it comes down to that social media, I've been telling people that from the very beginning, be careful what you post and put on there, because this stuff never goes away, and it can come back and haunt you forever, as a matter of fact. You know, so it depends on how young a person is that they're gonna go back, because you got kids on social media that'll say all kind of damnable things, and then an employer goes and check it out when he's 18 or 19 going to fill out for employment, and they might think he's the same kid that had those same views when he was a child, which he's probably matured out of that out of that scene, escaped that whole element, and so he was posting his feelings then. So how far will they go back? When it comes down to the HBCUs, listen, that's a family fight over there. Black folk are always sticking their nose in something. All they have to do is sit back and just be quiet. But because they are unhappy that this boy was on campus talking against homosexuality, bringing back Christian values. I don't care about what he said about white folk. I mean, black folk, because we talk about white folk every single day. Even on the Truth, on all of these stations, we're talking about them. When we say the word them, we're talking about white folk. Okay, so he made some statements that, and probably unlearned statements, because really there is no more welfare as we used to know welfare. These people are working for slave wages. Anytime you let a girl has got to work so many hours, 4 days a week to get $670, $78 or something like that a month, there's no more free give-me-outs for welfare. And if he, when he makes these statements, I don't even worry about it. I brush it off, because the simple fact of the matter is, it's not true, and it's more white folk and Latinos now is ciphering all of the welfare funds, that little free run you get. Them Spanish people and the Arab people that are in this country, guess what? They're siphoning it off, man, like never before. And they talk. So when he makes these statements, I'm not worried about that. But when it comes down to the people that are breaking into this country, the LGBTQ that is forcing this stuff on us, some of the medicine and some of the food ideologies that they're forcing upon us, guess what? I'm with that. And most of us need to go back to the principle of God. And I'm talking about God, the creator Okay, and I choose to go through him through a blood sacrifice, which is Jesus Christ, my ultimate sacrifice. So we need that. We've gotten away from that, and the people that don't want to hear this story is people that don't believe in God, done got away from God. That's why we is where we is right now, and we've allowed other people to come in and steal that religion from us. And we talking about it's the white man religion. They done stole it from you, baby, because you went out seeking something greater than what God has already given you. So get out that mess. That's a family fight. So if they lock the HBCUs down, that's what they get for getting in the family fight.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Look, we're going to run the break. When we come back, we got Al on the lines. We got some talk to text. We got some chat. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. 1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, 4 lucky businesses will win an opportunity for a monthly spotlight interview. Yes, you will win 3 interviews on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. To sign up for your business's chance to be highlighted on The Truth for 3 months, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That is blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank member FDIC.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas or visit mso.org.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. To learn more about how you can take your first steps in buying your forever home, visit associatedbank.com/lending. That's associatedbank.com/lending. Or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
It's the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You know my daily affirmations, every day I'm gonna pray. Trying to go to jail so they can have a place to stay. Man, I tell myself I love myself every single day. Gunshots in Atlanta, please don't get led astray. Hype me up. They asked me to do the remix. Right, I piped it up. Right pocket full of dices, yeah, I'm gonna book. Board the jet, I'm thinking more or less, yeah, I am enough. I know I am exactly who I'm supposed to be.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. I want to get this out the way this hour. This HBCU on alert after threats. This is a CBS News article. I want to play this because a lot of people, when I talk about things, I try to see, okay, how did this translate? How did this get here, to this point where this is actually happening? If you're watching as we broadcast live, we got this CBS News article that was released 2 days ago about what's going on with these HBCUs after the Charlie Kirk shooting. Let's listen.
The suspect in Charlie Kirk's murder comes as the emotional temperature of the nation swings between grief, anger, and alarm. Threats that the FBI later determined were not credible led to lockdowns and stepped-up security at historically black colleges and universities across the country. Even today, classes on some campuses remain canceled. Paul Quinn College, a Dallas-based HBCU, told us today that they're aware of what is going on around the country, and they are monitoring these developments closely. Robbie Owens explores why people of color fear becoming targets when anger has no place to go.
Oh, my God. The murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk unleashed a torrent of emotion online.
We took the same oath to defend our country against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
And much of it was alarming.
These leftists are our enemies.
With no suspect in custody, those opposed to Kirk's views quickly became targets.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals.
On Wednesday, President Trump released a video statement on his Truth Social platform blaming, quote, the radical left for Kirk's killing.
This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
Kirk's murder has been denounced on both sides of the political aisle, but many worry that it is too late to turn down the temperature online. Historically black colleges and universities across the country canceled classes, issued lockdowns, and increased security amid a wave of threats following the shooting. Color of Change, an online racial justice organization, took to Instagram to share news of the threats, writing, quote, the last few days in this country have been filled with violence and tragedy. Our political landscape has become rife with rage, grief, and uncertainty. But what remains consistent is that black people are the first targets during political unrest. Even when the perpetrators of political violence are unknown, our communities bear the consequences. Robbie Owens, CBS News, Texas.
All right, and that's what I'm saying. This is, a lot of people don't want me to talk and say this, but the fact that black people are being negatively affected for something that happened in Utah that had nothing to do with anything but whatever that person acted on his own or whoever concocted that in Utah, that's trash if that's the case. That's the case. If this is where they trying to take it to, of something that is conjuring a situation where people have to feel unsafe because of a situation that took place, to me, that's trash. That's a trash idea if that's going on, and we know it happens. This is America. This is America. We know America. We know how America get down. But at the same time, more innocent bloodshed, more innocent people losing their life. That's why I have to draw the line when you start to affect innocent people. I have to draw the line right there. We got Al on the lines. How you doing now?
Wow. Well, just to break it down, they're mediocre white men who can't accept the fact the man who shot him was white. And another thing, to the last caller, you can go to, I think it's lawsuit.org, and there's a lot of Republicans who like tranny porn, and they in their search browser, they look for femboy, female, tranny, lady boy. It comes up in Texas, Georgia, Kentucky, Missouri, Kansas, Virginia. So while all these people hating, they might need to clean off their own doorstep. And since we want to talk about transgenders, you know what dope fiends and alcoholics do for drugs and alcohol? They sleep with anything, including the same sex. Because I've been around many streets and many kind of people, so don't believe that. And Tory, I'm going to say it again. There's a lot of them who've been in prison, and they dropped that soap, and they didn't find God until they went past the second ring. And a lot of them are jaded and bitter. They know who they are. Because let me tell you something. When you in heat and you want some drugs, you will sleep with anything, even a neighborhood cat, if it can get you a $7 roller or a line of Coke or a fifth of Parmesan. So don't be let's not be stupid. And these Republicans, they like that 9-inch secret up under their dress and them breasts. Have a good day.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey, look, when we come back, Truth Nation, we'll have more conversations. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Come in with straight truth.
Everything got a message. I'll say this. Y'all can't be tired if y'all still messing with the negative energy. Every day I get on and say, the power of the tongue. Your impulsive negative thoughts, reacting, and these kids watching you reacting all wild and crazy. The programming you watching on TV, the music. And now, like Security Mike said, it's popular to pop somebody. It's popular now. And these kids coming back, they coming back to somebody's house. They coming to eat a meal at somebody's house. They hanging out with somebody in the neighborhood who got a house, who paying the rent. They hanging out with you. They may be your relative. They may be your buddy. That social acceptance is there. Understand what I'm saying? So when we really tired, we gonna cut it off. We gonna stop it.
Tune in to all your favorite 1017 The Truth shows all day, every day by downloading the Truth app.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles.
The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
I'm Angela Bassett. As a first responder on screen, I know what it means to act fast in an emergency. In real life, the same urgency can save lives, especially when it comes to a food allergy. For 33 million Americans, one bite can turn an ordinary meal into a life-threatening reaction. And too often, they don't have the one thing that could save them: epinephrine. But emergencies don't wait. And when a severe reaction happens, being prepared makes all the difference. Now, there's a needle-free option, a new way to carry epinephrine that makes it easier than ever to be ready. No needles, no hesitation, because when the unexpected happens, the best thing you can do is be ready. Know the risk, know the options. Be ready to act. Learn more at foodallergy.org/ready to act.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Justice Wisconsin, the truth, the most requested advocate in the state. 101.7 FM, the movement continues. Yeah. Milwaukee, stand up. It's Tory Lowe, the truth. From 1 to 4, we about that action, so tap in and let's go. We want that justice, we want all the smoke. From Monday through Friday, trying to bring the city hope. Yeah. Tory Lowe from 1 to 4, Monday through Friday, let's go. We bout that action from the block, and we ready, let's go. Tap in, and it ain't no holding back. We ready.
1017 The Truth. Tory Lowe. Tory Lowe Show live from American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue. The movement continues. The marathon continues right here on 1017 The Truth. Thank you for joining me for the third hour of the Tory Lowe Show. And we've been talking about this, people getting fired for posting on social media with the Charlie Kirk situation. I just raised the question for those that are just now tuning in. should people get fired for what they post on social media? I know for a fact a lot of y'all are not getting hired because of what y'all post on social media. They using that as a background check now. So you saw a lot of y'all wondering why y'all ain't being able to get these jobs. And they looked at your social media and they, hey, I don't want that type of person in my building. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But I do want to give also, and if you want to join in the conversation, 833-212-1017. But I do want to give an update on the young girl that we were looking for. She has Kylie Dawson has been found. 14 years old. We was looking for her. We was up in West Lawn looking for her. We was going around with the family trying to find her. She is home now, and the mother is saying that she's going to work to get her the resources she needs. But there was also an element to this situation with Kylie Dawson. It was something else with this situation. She was young, 14 years old, and an older adult was with her and possibly, doing extra stuff, or older adults was involved in that. And now we're working to see if we can get these adults put behind bars. I mean, I'm going to tell you this. The one thing that makes me sick to my stomach is when young kids, they get out here and these adults are aiding and abetting and harboring these kids. And sometimes when I see these adults, I try to talk to them unless I think that they have committed a crime. But sometimes some of these adults, they're trying to be the buddy in a situation and not trying to restore the child to their proper state. They're not trying to see where the parents are, or if they need to put these children in certain resource ideas if they can't go back home. What they're doing is they're harboring the kid and aiding the kid. And in this situation, this may be a case where there may be some older adults that may have had some type of sexual contact with this young woman and did other things. And I'm trying to make sure that these people go to jail. I'm working on it right now. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm tired of talking to people that I think should know better when it comes to a lot of these situations. There's nothing wrong with being resourceful and helping and trying to help, which means, okay, I'm going to help this child out by maybe feeding them, giving them some resources, helping them out at the moment, but making sure that they're put back in their proper place, whether it's at home or whether it's with some type of organization. But for those adults that are continuing to harbor or promote this type of behavior where they're becoming an outlet for these young kids, you don't want to. If I'm on it and I find out that that's the case, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. Okay, I'm saying it because I'm running into a lot of adults that are doing this. Okay, I'm done with it. I'm not going to say nothing else about it. Hopefully Kylie Dawson can get her situation in the right space with her family. But trust me, it's not over. That situation is not over. But I want to move to this situation. I want to bring it back home to the city. I want to bring the show back home to the city one time. And this situation, DJ Brother Z, is alarming and it's a little alarming, but I'm not shocked. I'm a little alarmed by it, but I'm not shocked that this was going on. This story happened last week. Milwaukee Public Works staffer on leave after alarming sex act video. He got recorded messing around on company time in the company vehicle. I think DJ Brother Z. Hey, we got WIC and it's a Fox 6. Okay, we got the Fox 6 article on this. If y'all listening, the brother had to, I don't know. Let's listen.
On camera exploiting an apparent sex worker in broad daylight just a few feet away from his marked government car.
The video already has thousands of views on social media, and Fox 6 investigator Brian Polson found the man who recorded it. Fair warning here, some of the content of this story is graphic. It's not suitable for children.
As workers streamed into the field headquarters of the Milwaukee Department of Public Works on Wednesday, one man was not there. The employee assigned to car number 24197.
He's official, got his own vehicle and
A public employee unwittingly featured in a now viral video.
Gotta get them views up, y'all. I gotta get them subscribers.
Recorded by Braden Tolliver.
This nasty work, y'all.
2 weeks ago, Tolliver says he was headed west on Lisbon Avenue near 34th Street.
I don't know. I was just so happy to be in this neighborhood, in this area, and just be driving past.
When he saw a woman in bright red skin-tight pants talking to a city worker.
She was leaning in from the driver's side. They was talking.
He circled the block and came back to find the city vehicle had moved.
So this is where the DPW vehicle was parked, or where was it about?
It was right here.
To a secluded alley right around the corner.
I mean, I know what goes on in this neighborhood.
He pulled out his mobile phone, crept up close.
Less than 8 feet away.
Right here.
And captured what appears to be a government worker engaged in a public sex act at 11 o'clock in the morning.
This is before noon, fool.
This stretch of Lisbon has long been a hotbed of human sex trafficking in Milwaukee. And while the sex workers themselves are rarely cited, municipal court data shows charges against the men who solicit them have steeply declined over the past 10 years.
All his colleagues gonna know what he been doing.
Of course, it's one thing to solicit a sex act on your own time. Another to do it in a taxpayer-funded car.
During city work hours. It's crazy. It's mind-boggling. It's crazy.
In other words,
he might get fired.
A ticket may be the least of his worries.
Could be married, have a wife. Wife doesn't know. She will now after this.
Brian Polson, Fox 6 investigators.
Bust it open.
Hey, I guess the taxpayers paid for his good time for a second. While he was on the job. Getting the job while he was on the job. I'll say this. It doesn't surprise me because we just had the public defender that just was in the sex crime ring with judges and everything off of Kilbourne, off of 29th and Kilbourne. ATV Bob says in the chat, says, bro was mad at the city worker caught on his lunch break. No, well, I'll say this. It's a lot. Human trafficking is up. They said it. Human trafficking is up. Rape is up. Homicides is up. And I'll tell you this. When I'm out here, that's why, when I'm out here dealing with the young people, they falling victim to a lot of these sexual assault, and that comes with that by being young and out here in these streets. So when you see this Department of Public Works, somebody that's supposed to at least know better, you start to find out it's a lot of people that's supposed to know better that's getting caught up. And you like, okay, well, ain't nobody really safe. Ain't nobody really safe. Hey, I'll say this. If we don't start, getting back out here in these streets, being on the front lines, being active, looking out for each other in a space where we're protecting each other, in a roundabout way, in a neighborhood community watch type way, we're going to continue to go downhill. We're going to continue to go downhill. It's people in the chat saying that the man snitched on him. They saying that he snitched. No, A snitch, and this is why I say that the mental illness, like the conditioning, is a problem, because if you're doing something and that person is not a part of it, that's not a snitch. A snitch is a person that came up with the situation and then got caught and told on somebody. Now he may be a tattletale. You could probably call him a tattletale. You know how the teachers, when the kid kept coming and telling on the other kids that, you know, the teacher got irritated, they said, you a tattletale. You know, stop being but then, you know, you can't have it all the ways. But this is what the problem is. If he hadn't have filmed it, how long would have kept going on? Matthew in the chat said he's snitching. Stop it. See, here we go. And these are the same people that want, when somebody do something bad, they want somebody to tell. That's wild to me, how people talk about snitching, but yet if somebody, you know, God forbid, do something reckless to their loved one, they want people to come forward. Hey, like I said, I just watch it all. I just be looking and listening. I be looking and listening. I don't see how y'all residents feel like snitching is got anything to do with a regular person coming forward and uncovering what they seeing. That is not a snitch. That's somebody that's on the neighborhood watch. So you saying that the neighborhood watch people is snitches? I'm asking. Bruh. I'm trying to figure this out. This look like some good neighborhood watch work to me. DJ Brother Z. Hey, we gonna get it right. We gonna get it right. Because I'm out here asking people to give me information all the time. I don't see them. I see them as residents that want to get the crime off the street, that want to get the what they call a riffraff off the street. You know it's a police shortage. So that man did good work. Good work. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll have more conversation, Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
Don't touch that dial. The Tory Lowe Show will be right back on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What up, Truth Nation? It's Kyle Walsh, and I'm broadcasting live from Tsunami Express Car Wash at Midtown on Tuesday, September 16th from noon until 1. Come ride the wave and kick off your week with a clean ride and good vibes. I'll be at 5209 West Fond du Lac Avenue, holding it down live at Tsunami Express Car Wash. Again, that's Tuesday, September 16th, Truth to Power from 12 until 1, live from Tsunami Express Car Wash at Midtown Milwaukee. Wash, chill, repeat.
Tracy, going back to the process, and as it relates specifically to the partnership that Old National Bank has with Housing Resource, what does the process consist of when coming through this program?
You know, it's a referral process. We work with clients that first-time homeowners that may not have the counseling that they need. They may not have the equity, the down payment that they need. So we refer them to our partners like HRI or Housing Resources, Inc., because we recognize that those organizations, they have the resources, they have the tutorial documentation and all of those things that are necessary for first-time homeowners that don't know the process, may not know the system, may not know what's required for home ownership. So working with Housing Resources, Inc. and other partnerships that we have like through WIDA has been very, very advantageous, not only for us, but also the organizations, but also for the community.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, all always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
Here's a dose of reality. Driving under the influence of prescription painkillers is just as illegal and just as deadly as driving drunk. In fact, there are nearly 2,000 drug-related crashes every year in Wisconsin. Help prevent drugged driving, and let's achieve 0 preventable deaths on Wisconsin roadways. Driving on pills kills. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Departments of Health Services, Transportation, and Justice.
You are listening to The Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Seven the Truth, Tory Lowe Show. You know, everybody been interested in this story about the Milwaukee woman accused of causing $10,000 in damage to a delivery car for undelivered food. They saying that she may have showed up late to court. I guess this story is something that's intriguing because the DoorDash driver the car was damaged, and I kind of played a video last week where she was kind of laughing at the situation, where they saying that Janila Jones faces felony charges after prosecutors say she was captured on a surveillance camera tracking down the DoorDash person. But they saying, I'm looking at this TMJ4 article, that she appeared late to her court hearing Monday morning, delaying the proceedings. She's showing up late to court. This is just one of those things where people have been following this story, and over a 10-piece wing. DJ Brother Z, I think that it's going to be one of those stories that she's going to wish that she hadn't done that much damage. And when I started the show, I talk about being under control emotionally, and I talked about this. I had to learn this. This is a part of the healing process where you don't let your emotions cause you to be emotionally impulsive and react just because you feel a certain way. That could get you in a lot of trouble. And we're seeing it with this situation with the DoorDash driver. She didn't get her wing, her 10-piece, and she might end up catching a 5-piece. They said it was from Friars. Yeah, whatever. All I'm saying is sometimes when you have triggers, and maybe from negative life experiences, just because you feel a certain way, that don't mean you should act out. Everything you feel don't need to be acted out. You got to understand how to control the impulsive nature. It's impulsive. So now she's about to pay the price. I guess we got the article up. If you're watching as we broadcast live, let's listen.
Milwaukee DoorDash customer making her first appearance in court today after being charged with a felony.
Prosecutors say Janila Jones tracked down her delivery driver at her home and then did $10,000 of damage to her car. All this over an undelivered order of chicken wings. Tonight, we're hearing directly from Jones for the first time.
Waiting to see if we take it to trial or not. You guys will see my side of the story.
Lighthouse reporter Ben Jordan broke this story last month and has covered every development since. He is at the Milwaukee County Courthouse now with the latest.
State of Wisconsin versus Janiyah Jones.
Janiyah Jones walked into the courtroom where her public defender immediately asked for the felony charge to be dropped.
We've looked at the four corners of this complaint. This is an aggravating matter.
Something the court commissioner refused to do.
And she is motivated to dispute the charges and fight this case.
Prosecutors say Jones was seen here on Ring video at the home of a DoorDash driver after Faith Morris says she lost cell phone service. Morris told police that she feared Jones was able to track her location using DoorDash's GPS as she never completed the order.
She did this over a 10-piece chicken wing. She passed Friars to come here.
Seconds after Jones goes out of frame on the surveillance footage, court records state that Morris's family witnessed Jones striking Morris's vehicle with a tire iron, smashing her windows.
It was so crazy how the glass was just raining from the sky when she was hitting it. Look, it's everywhere.
Moments before Jones stood in front of a judge. What did you think about this situation going viral? You were seen all across the nation.
Yeah, I've seen all the comments. I've seen the videos. I've seen everything.
She agreed to speak with me on camera.
If the judge decides to take it to trial, I have no problem with, giving the evidence out. But until then, I have nothing to say.
Ultimately deciding not to disclose her perspective on what happened back on July 11th. What is your side of the story?
I don't have no comment.
Why do you think this is funny?
Wow.
It's not funny. I mean, it's funny, but I just don't have no comment on it.
Oh, wow.
Jones walked out of the courtroom without having to pay cash bail. If convicted for criminal damage to property,
she could face up to for court delaying the proceedings this Monday. So we gonna see. I'm gonna keep everybody up to speed on this. Your life is about to be altered over a 10-piece chicken. And I believe that maybe she had things that were going on in her life that may have caused her to get to this point where she's acting out emotionally, and don't matter what the situation is, this is the type of way she approached how she felt frustrated. And it all catches up to you. It all catches up. She went viral with this situation. And somebody in the chat, they said, I'm blaming those parasites. They said, Josh saying he blaming the parasites. They have control in her gut. They had her fiending. Josh blaming it on the parasites. We got Brother Love. How you doing, Brother Love?
Hey, Tory, Lowe, how you feeling, man? Happy Monday.
Blessings. Happy Monday, Brother Love.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir, man. About that Sex in the City thing, man. I guess that's the meaning of it.
Oh, wow. The DPW driver.
Yeah, man. And I just want to tie this all in, Tory. You know what I'm saying? I just want to tie this all in. And it's like, the emotional intelligence, Tory, and I agree with your assessment that we must redefine what black family is, Tory.
Mm-hmm.
Because the black woman in America has changed. The black man, the black child, we all have changed. So we can't go off of traditional social norms and values of how people are. So what I say, I can't criticize the black woman if I don't have a social program or plan to help her in life, because a woman might have 5 or 6 kids that she's dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't have if I don't have a plan to help her, like you do more helping on evictions,
mm-hmm.
helping in situations. You
Right.
put your life at risk. You do way more than I do. So I ain't criticizing, brother. You know what I'm saying? And I wish you blessings, and I wish people will come. I wish black women will use their education and their resources to help you. I really do. If they that smart, come on, use your education and resources to help this black man, and instead of using it to tear down the black man. So brother, you're doing a great job. You're doing a wonderful job, and God bless you in peace.
All right, Brother Love. I'll say this, this is why I started the show. When I first started the show today at the top of the hour, I wanted to drop that gem of people reacting due to a bad life experience, which causes the trigger, which causes the emotional impulsiveness. And sometimes you got to add that level of maturity to your life to make sure that you don't look through some of the lenses, stay tunnel vision on your triggers and the things that you have used to build a guard up, and you just apply it to everything. And so every situation is on fire because you're looking through triggering ideas and thoughts and real life situations that took place with you. This is why we got to take a step back and heal ourselves and understand that, okay, everything is not a 5-alarm situation. I can tell when people about to get high blood pressure when I'm talking to them because their voice start to elevate and they start to get loud. And I have to tell people, just because you loud doesn't mean that you win in the conversation, first of all. And just because you get aggressively, vulgar in the conversation doesn't mean you're doing anything. It's just the triggers that are coming out. It shows that we have to do that inner working on ourselves. We gotta do a little bit more work. And many times we don't believe that we have to do any work because we believe that when our emotions feel a certain way, that's right. And then the behavior comes out, and then next thing you know, you done did something, reacting this way, that is causing you more grief, may cost you more money because you may be facing jail time. It wasn't even worth it. You could have assessed the situation and be like, you know what? I'm finna remove myself from this situation. It takes time and maturity to understand that everything don't need to have a reaction to it. Hey, it's a lot, but it takes time. It takes us time to really develop into what we're going to be. Nobody is where they are going to be. We got to continue to grow. Every day is a day to grow. Every day is another day to get it right. But when you look at this situation with the DoorDash, I bet you she wished she had to just stop by Friars and just got her another 10-piece. Now she's facing a $10,000 fine. That's $1,000 a wing, TJ Brother Z. And she facing $10,000. She caused $10,000 in damage over a 10-piece and may get a 5-piece in jail time. That ain't even adding up. I bet you she wished that never happened. That math don't even add up. Hey, look, when we come back, we'll be joined on the lines by advocate, author Elizabeth Brown. Truth Nation, stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
The Tory Lowe Show returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Celebrate the reigning queens of disco with Disco Divas, running at the Bradley Symphony Center September 26th through the 28th. Principal Pops conductor Byron Stripling will lead the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and an all-star trio of vocalists in all of your favorite hits from the disco era. Think Donna Summer, Patti LaBelle, Diana Ross, and Chaka Khan, as well as the Bee Gees, Earth, Wind & Fire, and even Michael Jackson. Those silky high strings and thumping bass lines will never sound better as you dance and sing along in your seat to tunes like I Will Survive, We Are Family, I'm Coming Out, and more. So what are you waiting for? Get those sequins out of storage and call the box office now at 414-291-7605 for Disco Divas or visit mso.org.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Here is Kyle Wallace with his truth.
Truth Nation, I guess I've officially graduated from big bro to unk status, at least according to my little cousin. That's what he said. Now, at first I pushed back a little bit, and I was offended by the assertion that I was old enough to be unk. But after a little thought, y'all, I actually embraced the label of being unk and the responsibility which comes with being quote-unquote unk. See, as unk, I think it's my duty to look out for and support the youth and young cats coming up after me. Embrace the role as being a mentor and role model and aim to protect our kids at all costs. With the news cycle always seemingly being negative towards the youth, we need to take it back upon ourselves to change the narrative and uplift our youth. Our kids are so much more than fights, stolen cars, Kia boys, or acting a fool in public. We can't allow a small population of children to depict who our kids really are in the city of Milwaukee. You have to resist the urge to want to bash our kids and be so quick to pass judgment or disparage the youth. And we gotta stop acting as if we were not once in their shoes, making poor decisions, having regrets. I know we have all been there. Now, regardless of how funny it may sound to say YN, don't label our kids that. That is far from a term of endearment, and we have to remember you become what people call you. If someone calls you dumb over and over and over again, you may start believing that you are dumb, and you may start having self-doubt in oneself. Don't put that type of self-hating energy on our youth, Milwaukee. We need to call them YKs and YQs for young kings and young queens, even when they might frustrate you. Remember, they are still only kids. With the summer being here, there is no better time to encourage them to aspire to be great. Give them positive reinforcement. Give them positive affirmation until we get it through their minds on who they really are and what they can become. An unstoppable force of greatness.
Listen to Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace weekdays from noon to 1 p.m.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat, brought to you by Lowe's.com. The arrow is pointing up for women's sports and is starting to attract the attention of investors looking to break into the sports world. Melody Hobson is co-CEO and president of black-owned Wall Street firm Ariel Investments and is part of a new venture there called Project Level. It's dedicated to investing in women's sports. On stage recently at a Bloomberg event, Hobson says she sees investing in women's sports similarly to how she sees investing in small-cap companies.
Smaller companies tend to grow faster, and we see the big guys, it's going to be harder to grow the way they've grown in the past. But the women have a big trajectory of growth in front of them. So this is where value meets growth.
The big guys she refers to are men's sports franchises. Hobson feels getting in on women's sports now could lead to big wins for investors down the road. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner. I'm the Black Business Beat.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Green Bay Packers lead the NFC North at 2-0 after wins over Detroit and Washington. They'll head to Cleveland next Sunday to face the Browns at noon. The Brewers win their series against the Cardinals but lose the final game of the series 3-2.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and the ball game is over. Riley O'Brien avenges his blown save from yesterday, closes the door on the Brewers today. Your final 3-2, St. Louis.
The Crew will now host the Angels for a 3-game set. Brewers sit at 91-59 atop the MLB. Badger football fell to Alabama 38-14. The Badgers are now 2-1 on the season and will head back home to face Maryland next Saturday. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Say, Jill. It's the champagne pouring, big joint rolling, Bombay sipping.
Are you ready to level up your mindset, money, and your future? Coach Erica Odom, real estate investor success coach and published author for our newly monthly show on the new monthly show that we have on the journey with Coach Erica. Each month we'll give you some real strategies, proven tips, and the mindset to shift to make your goals. Tune in tomorrow at 6 p.m. as Erica will be joined by Alexander Ellis and G Vea, Wellness LLC, and Rashid Washington of Pro Painter USA for a good discussion. That's on The Journey with Coach Erica, live tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Salute to Coach Erica. She will be live tomorrow at 6 p.m. on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Joining me on the lines, advocate, author Elizabeth Brown. How you doing, Queen?
Salute, King. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. Once again, we've been discussing this online situation where people were getting fired, discussing the shooting of Charlie Kirk, expressing themselves. And I would wonder, okay, why would that happen when he was controversial in a lot of his talks? So I'm trying to figure out what was the, why was the
what's
fire?
the logic?
Yeah, what was the logic behind it? Yeah.
Again, I want to know what's the logic not only behind that, but Trump deciding to lower the flag and all of this other stuff when we know that his rhetoric of spewing hate and everything else. I mean, it's again when we, especially me and you coming off of the pandemic and the way they were trying to go against those of us who thought differently. And for people to be reprimanded about how they feel, especially about an individual who had all the rights to speak how he felt, whether it was ignorance or not, whether it was hate or not, he was allowed. Matter of fact, he made money, top dollar, to spew what it was that he was spewing, no matter what that was. And now you want to make him a martyr and then hold people accountable who he spoke against or how they felt. But I mean, it's the double standard for me. The selected, the chosen outrage of them trying to make people have some type of empathy for somebody who clearly didn't have empathy for the exact reason why or how he died.
Well, I'll say
he stated about the gun violence and
right. But what I'm saying is this happened in Utah. This was another
predominantly white.
This was another person that looked like him.
Period.
That have done this. You know what I mean? So when I say, okay, he sparked controversy, racial conversations. He sparked conversation about, how he felt about Israel. He sparked different conversations all over the board, across the board, and they were far-right angles. All I'm saying is, if people are being controversial with their posting about a controversial figure, why would they get fired from it?
They should not get fired from it. That's the thing. Like I said, when the contradiction of this country, it's the contradiction for me. Again, he got paid top dollar to speak that way. He was murdered by a Christian, a white Christian, supposedly straight male, okay, who felt he didn't like his ideologies, okay? Right. And now here we go with individuals who are speaking their mind, who have no empathy, because these are the same people who would say that they're Christians and they believe that, people should have second chances and this and that. And then on the flip side of it, he was supposed to be a straight Christian man who was speaking or spewing the opposite of what people trying to fire people for because they have no empathy. Like, Charlie, this character that we're speaking of, and may he rest in wherever he's going, but he stated himself that he don't believe in empathy. But people are being fired because they don't have any?
Like I said,
it go against what he believed.
Like I said, this is
He didn't
where
even believe in it.
when people take political narratives and use it as a weapon to justify hidden agendas that they already have.
Absolutely.
And that's what I see. You know what I mean? And I got to draw the line. I don't care if you donkey gang. I don't care if you elephant gang. When you have racism, I've taken people jobs for being racist online. I've screenshotted what they were saying that was hateful and racist and sent it to their job. You know, I'm talking about the N-word. I'm talking about straight. I don't care. I'm finna say this. No, you can't say that. I'm not even against people losing their job for the outrageous racist rhetoric that goes on. But when it comes to just this situation with Charlie Kirk, all I'm saying is this man was very controversial when it came to race, was very controversial when it came to his beliefs about what was going on in Palestine and what was going on with the Jewish community. He spoke his mind freely on all different aspects. That's all I'm saying.
And got paid for it.
And got
paid top dollar for it. And they knew what he represented. Okay?
So he didn't have
Everybody knew
he didn't have to shut
what
up.
he was representing.
He didn't have to shut up. But you have to shut up.
They paid him not to shut up.
I'm talking about, but
they paid him
the
not to
standard
shut up.
is pushing out there is that he can say whatever he wanted to say and address whatever he wanted to say.
Exactly.
But you can't say nothing back due to the energy that he put out here. That's all I'm saying.
Absolutely. And again, like I said, it's the chosen outrage, like the selective outrage, rather. And then you punishing, again, like I said, like during the pandemic when those of us, quote unquote, anti-vaxxers or whatever you want to call it, you know what I'm saying? Like now here we are with an individual who, again, was pushed, was promoted. I recall, Tory, you know how many times I've been banned or put in Facebook jail for putting up Black love things, Again, the same individuals that do spew the N-word all over Facebook, they'll block me for responding, to them putting the N-word up. However, here we are again, with this individual who chose, he lived by it and he died by the hands of someone who he spoke highly of because, Tory, all I can do is laugh because it's, for me and individuals like myself, yourself, as we sit and watch the contradiction that is people that are being fired right now for speaking the truth, that they have no empathy because when you live by the sword, you're going to die by it. This is where we as a people have to really think about what we doing, who we working for, and how these people keep they boot on our neck. That I can be fired for speaking my mind, but he was hired to speak his and spew whatever it was that he was doing.
All I'm going to say is this. When somebody said, when you're a controversial figure, and you have, everybody has a right to say what they got to say, but when the controversial figure gets to talking and creating a stir and going around and doing this, I think it's a total hypocrisy for somebody to come back and say, you can't say what you want about this person who said everything he wanted to say about what he feels about your race, who you are, and everything. So it's just with his situation. I believe that when you get on the line and start being racist and bigoted and saying things like, stereotypical racial ideas, yeah, I'm for all of that. But in his situation, this ain't that.
No, definitely not. And now people are losing their livelihood because they speaking about how they feel, but y'all paid him to speak about how he felt. Again, it just goes to show the contradiction that is America, because nobody should be losing their job because he had a job because he was able to speak these ideas. They promoted him for that.
7551 says, more importantly, Tory and Liz, killed by his own kind, and the blame shifts towards black for what reason? America is sad
again because it's America.
In some aspects. Hey, all I'm saying is, you know, when I saw the article about the HBCUs having to shut down, and then you got people going live and saying we're going to go and get the liberals for this, and you know, and targeting because most blacks vote liberal, and so that hatred is starting to shift to the black community when something happened way in Utah that had nothing to do with the black community, and that's where I got to raise an eyebrow and say, okay,
absolutely,
this is whoever is doing anything like this. First of all, you stupid. You know, it's pure stupidity, brain rot type behavior. And I'll say this, like, if it ever happened around here, it's going to be a problem. Around the state of Wisconsin, it's going to be a problem. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely. It's just time for white accountability, okay? Everybody's screaming black on black crime, but again, they have to address their own issues, okay? Because it's been an issue. There's no way around this. It was a white, Christian, straight man who took him out, okay? And the rhetoric that he always spewed, again, when he was shot, he was about to go into quote-unquote gang violence, who we know who they always point at when it comes to gang violence. Okay, but again, we have to make sure we continue to highlight what the FBI stated about white men and white boys being the domestic terrorists right here on the homeland. That's where we got to stay. They need to focus on that. You know what I'm saying? Because, again, everything that he spoke about was the total opposite. It was his own kind. When we're talking about mass shootings, when we're talking about the guns, like I stated, this man said he didn't believe in empathy. But these people are trying to condemn us, or those who don't have empathy, of how he was violently taken out. You know, again, we have to make sure we listening to the dog whistles that are being blown right now. Because, again, when the black man who stabbed the woman on the bus, or the rail in Carolina, they were calling him animals and all of that. I don't hear anything about this 22-year-old who shot Charlie Kirk in his neck being called a monster or anything like that. Like, you don't hear it. But again, I think it's too for the people to start continuing to speak up, and we have to know that when we can't feed ourselves and we have to depend on somebody else to do something, they can't take your livelihood. We're moving. Things are starting to really get dangerous for individuals who go against a system. You understand what I'm saying? Hey. So we really need to be now thinking about what we're going to do moving forward, because, again, there's no way you should lose your job because you spoke your feelings about somebody who got paid to speak about theirs.
Hey, look, when we come back, Elizabeth Brown, I want to get your final thoughts on the show today. Truth Nation. Stay locked in right here on Tory Lowe.
More of the Tory Lowe Show is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When a customer chooses Pella, one of the most important things to them is honoring that trust and commitment. A lot of customers might have apprehensions about inviting someone out to their home. But when you see the experience and professionalism, you can trust them with bringing your project to life. Their vision is to be the company that people want to do business with. Watching them work from idea to installation gives you the ability to see firsthand the care taken to ensure the Pella experience is complete. When you want long-lasting comfort and reliability, it's easy to trust Pella. Every piece is specifically constructed for you and your home, always designed with innovation and rigorously tested for quality and performance. The Pella team takes pride in constructing quality windows and doors with meticulous attention to every detail. Order by the end of the month and get 0% interest for up to 5 years. Visit PellaWI.com today.
Server restrictions apply. It's 9/30/2025.
Crispy chicken tenders are now at Cousin's Subs. Enjoy them with your favorite dipping sauce, or try them in one of our 2 new subs, Classic Crispy Chicken or Bold Buffalo Ranch Crispy Chicken. Both served on our fresh baked bread, made with quality you can taste. But hurry, these crispy favorites are only here for a limited time. Order in store, online, or on the app today. Cousin's Subs. We believe in better.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are much closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious accident? It's free. Yes, free, as in it won't cost you anything to speak with us. There's never a fee until we win your case. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is the Tory Lowe Show on 1017 The Truth app, at 1017thetruth.com.
I turn shorty up, sipping on that 1942. I got my 42. Oh, you got your 42. I got 40 of them. I rock Cardi's, you can't see my eyes cause I be pouring up. I've been around with choppers.
1017 The Truth, Tory Lowe Show. DJ Brother Z on the ones and twos, Elizabeth Brown. Another powerful conversation today. Let me get your final thoughts on the show.
I mean, powerful as always. Again, salute to Crawford. You know, he put on a hell of a show. And I mean, absolutely. Just strategic. He just pure. He a purebred boxer. Okay, but salute to him for putting on a hell of a show. I mean, he's bringing boxing back to the forefront where it's supposed to be. So
I'll tell you this, he didn't get it. Sometimes when you go for legacy, the money it don't come with the bag. Canelo got $150 million. They said that Crawford got $10 million, but he got the legacy.
He did get the legacy. The sad reality is, you know, being black in America, you usually have to like have one or the other, and everybody else get both. The reality is, he did expose again, you know, like y'all was talking about during the pop culture report, that they pick who they want to lift up, and usually those of us that are righteous have to go the long way, and we have to take shorts because we're standing on principle, we're standing on our talent, we're standing on righteousness, because he shouldn't have never had to take that small amount of money to get this fight, knowing that he dominated in so many, you know, different other weight classes and stuff like that. There's no way. However, being righteous in a wicked world, you usually have to take, you know what I'm saying, like some L's along your way because you did it the right way. And you wasn't about to allow them to use you or misuse you. So on the back end, he won. You know, the reality is, like he stated, like you stated, Canelo was saying everybody he had fought before him was a nobody. Welcome to nobody land, Mr. Canelo, because he exposed the boxing that they picked. However, he stayed consistent, and he got the win in the end. So let's get it, King. Powerful show, though.
Hey, look, let me tell you something, Elizabeth Brown. We got a lot of things going on, and what we have to do is stay focused and keep our eyes on the prize, because there's a lot of work to do in our communities. But like I said, whatever happened in Utah, I don't see how that translates outside of what took place in Utah.
Hey. Because they picking and choosing. And at the end of the day, if all else fail, blame it on black. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
So, hey. We know what it is. However, we're going to change it because we ain't having it. It ain't got nothing to do with us. That's white on white crime, and the white community have to deal with their own, just like we got to deal with our own. So with that being said, let's get it, King. Again, great job. Can't wait until tomorrow. Let's get it.
All right, Queen. I'll talk to you soon. All right, DJ Brother Z.
All right, Queen. All right, Tory Lowe from Waterfall. Green don't know it's me. Go. Let's get it.
Hey, look, watch what you post online. We took the poll. We had the poll. What 50% said that you shouldn't be punished for what you put online, but 40%, it was a 40% that said you should. But hey, look, watch what you say, because it may come back to get you, especially when it comes to employment. Keep your head on the swivel. Green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the streets. I love you, Dr. Ken Harris. Up next.
Come in with straight truth.
And to make matters even worse, Truth Nation,